Anya's point of view. It was another day again in the Dark Hound Pack. Birds were chirping and singing happily on the branches of large trees. I could see people across the street getting ready for work. I looked up and saw how radiant the sky was and smiled. Luna, Alpha Marcus was calling for you. He said to go straight to your room, the helper living in the pack house said. I looked at her and spoke. Okay, I'll follow you after I'm done with this. The helper bowed her head and went inside the house while I went back picking flowers. I glanced at the flowers in my hand and smelt it. It comforted me. I stayed for a minute in the garden when I decided to go back inside. When I entered the house, I quickly put the flower I picked on the vase. I went up to our bedroom, where Marcus is. I was about to open the door when it burst open, revealing Marcus's angry face. He grabbed my arm and harshly pulled me inside. I winced in pain. It will surely create a bruise later on the way he held it. Why are you late? He angrily asked. I bowed my head before speaking. When he's like this, I couldn't help but be scared. I just picked flowers on the garden. I'm sorry if you waited, I said and apologized. When I raised my head to look at him, I found him staring at me. He slightly pushed me into the bed, so I sat down. Marcus approached me and began kissing me. It was not a passionate one, but what would I do? If he wants it, I will gladly give everything to him. I put my arms around his neck while tears were falling down my eyes. Marcus pushed me once again until I lay down on my back. Marcus lay down beside me while panting. He was also sweating profusely. I turned to my side and wiped the tears from my eyes. I am his when we were in bed, in this room, but he never looked at me and accepted that I am his mate. Get out, he flatly said. This is what he always says after we had sex. He's always telling me to go out of the room like nothing happened between us, like we haven't shared our bodies intimately. I stood up, even though my womanhood was still sore. I picked the clothes on the ground one by one. I looked at him and saw him staring at me. Don't go anywhere and flirt with others because I need you later, he said and went to the bathroom. I slumped on the tiled floor and sobbed. I don't know why I still couldn't get used to his treatment of me. It broke my heart again and again. Anya, my wolf worriedly said. I'm okay. Don't worry about me, I replied quickly. I put on my ripped clothes and went to the room next to him. I lay down on my bed with haste and covered myself with a blanket. I began to cry again because it hurt so much. I just want him to love me. Anya, please don't cry, my wolf sadly said, trying to comfort me. I didn't answer her and kept crying silently. Why can't I have my own happiness? He's a demon, a heartless one, but I still love him. I fixed myself when I heard the news from Marcus that Candace and Blake were coming. Candace was Marcus's sister and Blake's mate. He was also my previous alpha after transferring to the Dark Hound Pack. I picked a simple sleeveless dress and put light makeup on my face so they wouldn't notice my pale complexion. I glanced at my arm and saw the bruise. Candace might see it. I can't let her know, I said to myself, and went to pick another dress. I found a baby blue long-sleeve dress and changed the dress I currently wore. After checking everything, I went out of the room. I was a bit taken aback by seeing Marcus waiting for me. Why are you so slow? He said, irritated. Sorry, I said and bowed. Marcus went down while I was following him closely behind. I immediately saw Candace and Blake sitting on the couch. They didn't bring their twins with them. Anya! Candace shouted and hugged me. I hugged her back and smiled. She was an excellent Luna to the introverted me, and he was one of the people who didn't ignore me, and that made me glad. You looked pretty. Does my brother takes good care of you? Candace asked me. I glanced at where Marcus was sitting. I knew he heard what his sister had asked. Of course, I answered. That's good to know then. Let's go, she said and pulled me. I winced in pain when she touched the part where my bruise is. Anya, are you all right? Candace worriedly asked me. I pretended to fix my sleeve and smiled. I'm fine. Where are we going, by the way? I asked her. Marcus approached us and pulled my hand away from his sister. I will just talk to her, Candace, he said. Candace pouted her lips and stomped her foot like a child. You wouldn't believe she already had twins because she sometimes acts childishly. You are always with her, brother. I missed Anya, she said. I saw Blake slowly walk towards her and hugged her from behind. I really envied the both of them. How I wished Marcus would be like that too. caring and loving towards me. "Let them go. Love," Blake said. Marcus gently dragged me away, and we entered the guest room. I tried wriggling my hand off of him, but he won't budge. "Marcus," I shouted, but he won't still let my hand go. He grabbed the sleeve of my dress and tore it apart. I gasped in surprise and looked at him with wide eyes. "You have a bruise," he quietly whispered enough for me to hear. I looked into his eyes and saw regret, but it vanished instantly. I covered my bruise with my hand. I felt my heartbeats faster as I waited for him to talk. "You deserve that," he said and walked away, leaving me with my shattered heart in the room. Anya's point of view. I woke up feeling the sun's light hit my face. I rubbed my bleary eyes and noticed that I was still in the same dress I wore yesterday. Sighing, I got up and went to the bathroom. I don't know what happened yesterday because Marcus ordered me to stay in his room. I'm sure Candace sulked because I'm not around. I know Marcus won't sleep in this room with me. He'll only call me if he needs to have sex. With his constant mood swings, he doesn't treat or see me as his mate. I touched my chest as I can feel it tightened. "Be strong, Anya," my wolf said. "I'm sorry for not talking to you yesterday," I said and apologized. Attella was important to me as she was with me since I was born. My wolf was my only companion when I felt alone in the pack. "It's okay," she said. A knock interrupted us. I went to the door and opened, seeing Lorraine Angeli. She's the mate of Marcus's new beta, Arnold, after Damien, his previous beta, died. "Good morning, Luna. Alpha said that you should go to his office after eating your breakfast," Lorraine said with a smile. Funny how his members thought of us like we were the most perfect couple in this pack, but it was completely different. "Okay, Lorraine, I will come," I answered. She bowed her head and I watched her went down. I closed the door and sat on the bed. What does he want from me? After bathing myself, I went to the kitchen and saw a plate with food placed neatly on the table. I sat down on the chair and began eating. Lorraine entered, carrying a box of fruit with her. She put it on the counter and started arranging it on the shelves. "Where's your mate, Lorraine?" I asked. Lorraine turned at me and smiled. "Alpha Marcus asked him to do something, Luna," she replied politely. I envy Lorraine because she's always happy, not like me, who is still hoping for Marcus's love every day. "Lorraine, join me," I said and smiled. She did not follow me at first, but eventually sat with me. She started talking about her life and her mate. Her eyes were shining brightly. My smile vanished. Mate's love really brings happiness. Lorraine stopped and looked at me worriedly. "Are you okay, Luna?" she asked. I nodded my head and drank the water on the bottle beside me. Lorraine excused herself while I went directly to where Marcus's office is located. When I was already in front of the door, I breathed deeply and knocked. "Come in," I heard him said. Slowly, I pushed the door open. "Did you call for me?" I asked and gripped the hem of the shirt. I was standing in front of him while he was staring at me. "Sit," he said. I sat on the chair. The only noise that can be heard inside was coming from his computer while he typed. "Did I tell you to sit there?" he said, irritated. I quickly stood up and looked around the room. Where does he think I will sit? On the ground. He stopped typing and looked at me. "Sit here," he said and pointed his lap. I could feel my cheeks reddened. "Huh?" I asked, dumbfounded. "He wants me to sit on his lap? The Marcus Kingsley ordered that? What did he eat?" I said, "Sit on my lap," he angrily said. I hurriedly went to him and sat on his lap. My heart is beating faster. I couldn't explain what I'm feeling right now. I'm beyond happy. "Look at me," he commanded. I looked at, although I was shy of meeting his eyes. He cupped my face and his gaze went to my lips. He leaned and claimed my lips. His kiss was so aggressive, but I kissed him back with the same intensity. I could feel his hand roaming around my body. A sudden knock on the door made us move away from each other. Blushing, I bowed my head and got up. I heard Marcus cursed. He waited for me to fix myself before letting the person in. "What is it, Arnold?" he said, sounded pissed. Arnold's forehead creased. He glanced at my side and smiled a little. I shyly smiled back while fanning myself. "I have to report something, Alpha. We found the rogues' hideout, and out intel said he saw Damien among the rogues," Arnold said. I peeked at Marcus's and saw him clenched his hand into a fist. Damien was a traitor and was declared dead after we couldn't find his body while he was trying to kill Candace. He was bent on avenging his mate that Blake killed when she attacked him years ago. Veronica was banished from her father's pack and the entire North after being found guilty of being Damien's accomplice. Her own wicked love for Blake resulted to her banishment. "Prepare to attack, Arnold. Tell the other warriors to get ready," he said. "I need to see for myself if it's true," he added. I flinched and backed away, seeing how mad he was. "Yes, Alpha," Arnold replied and bowed his head. He went out of the office, leaving us inside with a heavy atmosphere still lingers in the air. I gritted my teeth and approached him slowly. "Marcus," I stuttered while calling his name. I was about to touch his shoulder, but he scowled at me. "Don't fucking touch me!" He shouted angrily. I could feel thousands of needs prickling my heart. He's mad again. I tried controlling my tears, but I failed. "Marcus, leave Anya," he sternly said. I nodded my head and hurriedly left his room. I bumped into Lorraine outside. "Are you okay, Luna?" she worriedly asked me and held my arm. I forced a smile and nodded. I quickly excused myself and went to my room. Why do I always wish for Marcus to change? I smiled bitterly. Because I love him. That's why I'm still hoping for him to change. That someday he will treat me with care, kindness, and love. Because I am his mate. Anya's point of view. The sound coming from the alarm woke me up. Why did I dream of the first time I met Marcus? I remember it was a sunny day. I went to Blue Moon Pack House, clasping my book to my chest while sauntering around the street. Attila was acting strange that day. I remember preparing food for Candace and Blake and decided to run. I was alone in the forest, enjoying the wind brushing in my skin, then the smell of chocolate with the touch of cinnamon filled my nose. When I opened my eyes, a gray wolf with a beautiful pair of blue eyes was in front of me, looking at me intently. It was the day I found my mate, my other half and my destined lifetime partner, Marcus Cepheus Kingsley. I heaved a sigh and got up. I picked the towel and went inside the bathroom. "Good morning, Anya," Attila Wolf greeted me. "Morning," I replied while yawning. I got into the shower and turned the dial on. I let the warm water fall on my body and closed my eyes. It was another day for me to hope for our relationship to get better. After showering, I went out and picked denim shorts and an oversized shirt. I was planning on picking the flowers in the garden later. I got down and walked towards the kitchen when I heard loud crashing sounds. I felt my nervousness rose and hurriedly went inside. "Fucking hell!" Marcus angrily cursed. The first question I wanted to ask was, what happened? But I'm too scared to speak up, knowing he was raging in anger. I glanced around and saw Arnold. I breathed a sigh of relief and spoke. "What happened?" I worriedly asked. I don't know, but I felt like it had something to do with their operation yesterday. The rogues that Arnold was talking about. I didn't get a reply, and Marcus kept throwing the plates and glasses on the wall. "What happened, Arnold?" I asked him once again. He was the only one who could answer my question right now. I badly wanted to know what's happening. Marcus may not treat me as his mate, but as the pack's unofficial Luna, it was my right to know the current situation. "The rogues suddenly knew we were going to attack their base, and they escaped," Arnold said. When I looked at Marcus, he had a dark expression on his face like he wanted to kill someone. "It's impossible in the first place because only the warriors of our pack knew the raid, and before leaving, the intel told us that they were still on their base and they weren't planning on leaving anytime soon," Arnold said with a creased forehead. "Marcus," I called his name and walked to him slowly. I held his hand and squeezed it. Mates have a bond, and it could help them by soothing their anger, but for us who haven't mated yet, it was weak, yet it worked. "How did the rogues know that we were going to attack?" "Call the allied pack, Arnold," Marcus ordered. "Tell Joseph of the Silver Moon Pack that I need their help. There might be someone behind this, and Damien may be the key. Investigate the inside. I want him or her dead," he added. I know Marcus won't tell his sister about Damien as long as he doesn't have the proof. It was for Candace's safety. Arnold nodded his head and excused himself. If I heard him right, there might be a snitch left on the pack. Marcus looked at me, and what he said surprised me. "I want you now, Anya," he huskily said and pulled by my waist. I couldn't believe he wanted to do it again, but I admit that he sounds so damn sexy while calling my name. I gulped and closed my eyes when I saw him lean forward. I waited for his kiss, and it happened. For the first time, he wasn't in a hurry. It was deep and needy. I wrapped my arms around his neck. Ahem. I opened my eyes and saw Arnold standing on the door while scratching the back of his neck. Marcus glared at him. "What?" he asked, irritated. "Alpha Joseph said he will go here tomorrow," Arnold said. Marcus's only response was the nodding of his head. We went out of the kitchen, dragging me back upstairs where his room was located. We got inside, and he locked the door behind him. "Now they won't disturb us here again," he seriously said and kissed me again. My eyes widened when he carried me to his bed. He took off his clothes and began showering my face with little kisses. I don't know what to do or to think anymore. He's good to me one minute, then he will suddenly change and ignore my existence as his mate. Am I selfish for wanting his love so bad? "You are mine, Anya. Mine alone," he whispered in my ear while he was tracing my body with his fingers. I don't know what to feel. His words brought both pains and hope to me. What am I really to you, Marcus? Those were the words I longed to ask him, but instead of speaking, I closed my eyes again, embracing the warmth he was giving me. As much as I can, I decided to put all my love into him until the day I couldn't love him anymore. Anya's point of view. "Lorraine, what happened? Why are they making a fuss early in the morning?" I asked as I got out of my room. Lorraine looked at her with fear in her eyes. "Luna, why did you go out?" she said. "I suggest you should go back to your room," she added while clasping her hands together. My forehead creased at her response. "What is it?" I asked one more time when I heard crashing sounds in Marcus's office. I looked at Lorraine and saw her flinch. Marcus was angry again. I couldn't help but sympathize with them because I know the feeling when facing Marcus's wrath. "Luna, please go back inside. We'll take care of Alpha Marcus," Lorraine said while holding my hand. "But they don't know Marcus as I do." I smiled a little and touched her hand. "I'll go to him, Lorraine," I said. "It's okay, he won't lay his hands on me. Don't worry," I added and walked away. Marcus may be cold to me, but he never once hurt me physically, intentionally. I stopped at the front door when I heard him speak. "Where are they?" "I thought they'd come today." "Alpha Joseph canceled it, Alpha," I heard Arnold said. "The Rouges attacked them and they need to reconstruct the damages they acquired," he added. "Fuck! Leave, Arnold." "I want to be alone," Marcus said. I commend him for being calm despite facing Marcus. "Continue to patrol around the border and report every suspicious move on me," he added. The door opened, revealing Arnold's face. "Arnold," I call him quietly. He looked at me and smiled. "I'll be leaving first, Luna. I need to go to my mate," he said. I nodded my head and watched him disappear from my sight. I stared at Marcus's office for minutes when I decided to enter. My palms began to sweat. I'm nervous because he's not in a good mood, and he's scary when he's like that. I turned the knob gently and pushed the door. "What are you doing here in my office, Anya?" he asked while holding a bottle of whiskey. He had no emotion in his eyes. I bit my lower lip and trudged to his desk. "I wanted to see you," I said, but all I got was a glare that made me flinched in my place. I averted my eyes to him. Why can't I get used to his death glare? "I don't want to see you." "Get out," he angrily said. That caught me off guard. He was harsh again. I played with my fingers and stubbornly raised my head up high. "But I want to help you," I stammered. He scoffed and put the glass on the table. "You really want to help me?" he asked in a monotone voice. "Yes," I replied without the slightest bit of hesitation. "Come here," he commanded. I followed him and walked towards him. I halted when I was in front of him. "Sit on my lap," he ordered. I was surprised for a moment, but sat on his lap with haste as I don't want him to get mad again. My back was facing him while my hands trembled on my knees. "Look at me, mate," he huskily whispered in my ear, sending bolts of sparks and fluttering butterflies in my stomach. I shivered when his hands traced my legs up to my waist. I turned around and saw him staring at him. My face reddened as I felt the bulge in his pants. I was about to turn my head away when he cupped my face and kissed me senseless. I moaned and grabbed his hair. I missed him so much. He carefully lowered the strap on my dress when the phone on the table rang. Marcus continued kissing me, but the phone kept ringing. "Hello? What do you need?" "I fucking clearly told you not to disturb me," he angrily said after answering the call. I adjusted the strap while blushing. I'm sorry, Alpha, but we found two dead bodies near in the lake, and you need to see this. I heard Arnold speak on the other line. Fuck! Marcus cursed under his breath and ended the call. It was a serious matter. Marcus, I whispered. Get off of me, he said. I quickly got up and backed away. What are you looking at? Get out of this room this instant, he added. I could see his hand were balled into a fist. Marcus, I heard what Michael said. I want to go with you, I said. I thanked the moon goddess that I didn't stutter when I spoke. He stood up and went to me. His eyes were flaring with so much hate. He grabbed my shoulder. I told you to leave, right? Are you stupid? He shouted. I'm your mate and the Luna of this pack. I want to know everything, I said, but he scowled at me and gave me a sardonic laugh. Luna? Ha! You wished, Anya, he said. I could feel my chest tightened because of the pain. I don't want to cry in front of him anymore. His words felt like a sharp knife that he repeatedly plunged into my heart. Leave, he dangerously said and pushed me away. I stumbled on my feet, but I hurriedly composed myself before leaving his room. My tears proceeded to fall from my eyes when the door closed. Minutes passed. I saw him left the office. I grabbed my jacket and followed him when I bumped into Lorraine. Lorraine, please. You have to help me, I said. Lorraine was a bit hesitant, but decided to help me. We went out through the back door. I could hear bones twisting and cracking. Fur began to grow on my body, and I landed on the ground on all fours. My complete wolf transformation. We ran to the forest where Marcus went. We hid behind a large tree when we saw Marcus and some of the warriors on the lake. There were two bodies on the ground, as Arnold told on the phone. Marcus squatted down and examined the bodies. I saw him clenched his jaw and nodded his head to Arnold. Bring the bodies back to their families and give them a decent burial they deserved, he said. The warriors carried the dead in their arms and walked away. Marcus glanced around the place and pinched the bridge of his nose. He followed the warriors back to the pack house. Lorraine and I looked into each other's eyes and went out of our hiding place. We slowly approached where the body was lying earlier. I couldn't believe what I saw on the ground. It was a message, and it used the warriors' bodies to write it down. Guess who was back, old friend? Anya's point of view. The repeated knock on the door made me open my eyes. I stood up and get my robe on the chair and went to open the door. Lorraine, what are you doing here? I asked. Lorraine smiled at me. After following Marcus yesterday, Lorraine and I went back without saying anything to each other. I kept quiet the whole night, thinking who could be the one sending the message made from our warrior's blood. Luna, it's time for you to eat your food, Lorraine said. I watched her movement as she plays with her fingers. Lorraine seemed to want to speak to me, but she didn't. What time is it? I asked her. She gave me a small smile and scratched her head. It's already noon, Luna. You missed eating your breakfast, she politely said. I stared at her and turned my body facing the window of my room. I saw the sun was up high in the sky. How long have I slept for me to miss the food? Okay, I will have a bath first. You can wait for me in the kitchen, I said. She slightly bowed her head and walked away. Thank you, Lorraine, I added and closed the door. When I was showering, the message did not leave my mind. I was scared not only for myself but for Marcus because it was clearly directed to him. He's the old friend the message was talking about. I blow dry my hair and pick a yellow sundress. Where's Marcus? I asked Lorraine after I entered the kitchen. He's in the underground prison with my mate, Luna, Lorraine said and handed me the bowl of fruits. Arnold told me they already caught the snitch, she added. I stopped what I was doing and stared. Lorraine, I need to go there, I said. Do you know where the underground prison is? I added. In my stay here, I haven't had the time to wander around. She avoided my gaze and bowed her head. Lorraine, I called her and saw her fidgeted in her seat. She the only one I trust here in Marcus's pack. Lorraine was my first friend in here, just like back then with Candace in Blue Moon Pack. Lorraine, please, come with me, I begged and held her hand. Lorraine let out a sigh and squeezed my hand. Then let's go, Luna. Thank you very much, Lorraine. I knew I could count on you, I sincerely said and hugged her tight. We went out of the pack house and escaped the guard on duty. We ran and ran until Lorraine stopped. We are here, Luna, she said. I looked at the building. It looked more like a simple house, but it was long and had multiple cells when we went inside. Lorraine talked to the guard while I went inside. "Lorraine, you can leave me here," I said. That surprised her. "But Luna," she called. "I will handle it alone, Lorraine. I don't want you to get involved if Marcus saw me." "Go on, Lorraine," I said, and smiled. She hesitated at first, but she followed my order. She ran back to the pack house direction, leaving me inside. I walked down the building. Only the dim lights served as my light. I heard the scream of a person in pain in one of the rooms. I walked hurriedly and leaned on the wall. I peeked inside the room and saw Marcus holding a silver whip, and a bloodied man on the chair was being handcuffed. "Who is he? Who's your boss?" Marcus angrily shouted. The man smiled like he was mocking Marcus. "I won't tell you," he said. Marcus whipped him again, and he screamed in pain when the silver hit his body. "Will you tell me now?" Marcus asked. "He looks like he's controlling his beast." The man spat on his shoe and shook his head. "Kill him," Marcus' cold voice commanded. I covered my mouth and looked away as the man took his last breath in Arnold's hand. I really can't withstand seeing them kill. "What are you doing here?" Marcus said while his arms were crossed. I almost faint at the sight of blood, but he's way scarier than it. I stammered. Marcus grabbed my arm. I bit my lips and winced in pain as I was hurting. He knew how sensitive my body was, but he still held it harshly to leave a bruise. "What the hell, Anya? Who said you can come in here?" He angrily said. "Marcus, leave this place, Anya, until I can still hold myself. Go back to the pack house," he calmly said, but I refused and shook my head. I'm not going to leave him in this place. I could see his expression darkened, and the next thing he did scared me. He grabbed me by the neck and pinned me to the wall. "Who told you to disrespect your alpha, huh?" he asked while glaring at me. I tried removing his hands around me, but he was too strong for me. I cried. "No one," I weakly said. "Don't get ahead of yourself, Anya. You're here because my wolf needs you. Don't act like a nuisance that you already are," he spat. "Marcus, please," I pleaded. I couldn't breathe. His hands were still around my neck. I could feel my consciousness slowly leaving my body. My eyes were blurry with tears. "Shit, Alpha! You're gonna kill the Luna," I heard Arnold said. Marcus looked at me with pain in his eyes and quickly released me. I slumped on the ground, coughing. I was catching my breath, and everything around me went black. Marcus's point of view. "Is she all right?" I asked while pacing back and forth. After I put her on my bed, I walked out of the room. We were outside of the pack house, and Arnold stood with his arms crossed. "Yes, Alpha. My mate already put something to her bruises," he replied. I let out a sigh and ruffled my hair. I couldn't control myself earlier. I looked at Arnold and saw him smiling like an idiot. My brow creased. "Why did you that? You could have talked to her gently," Arnold said and sat beside me. I don't know why I did that. My anger got the best of me, and seeing her earlier with her terrified face, I lost it. "I don't know," I replied. "Why are you smiling? You look like an idiot," I told him. He looked at me, but his smile never left his lips. "Just ignore me, Alpha. I'm just thinking about my mate," he said. I intently looked at him and nodded my head. "You love her that much?" I asked him as I looked at the vast blue sky. "Yes, I love her very much," he answered without hesitation. I smiled bitterly and clenched my hand into a fist. Suddenly, the surroundings became quiet. Only the chirping of small insects can be heard. "Why did you do that?" he asked quietly. I bowed my head. "I don't know," was my only answer to him. "I don't know what got into me and did that. All I saw was bloodlust." "I'm saying this as your friend," Arnold started. "I know what you went through, Marcus, but that is not a reason for you to hurt your mate. Let her in, dude. Don't push her away," he added gently. "I can't," I said softly. I bent down and messed up my hair. "I can't let her in. If I did that, I would lose her too." My father's words kept ringing in my ears. "Mate and love will only make me weak." "Dude, forget the past," Arnold said. "Mildred said that to you, right? It's not your fault what happened to your father. You don't know anything about the attack. You are a good person, Marcus. Learn to forgive yourself, dude," he added with a small smile. "No, it's all my fault, Arnold," I said. "I grew up with a strict upbringing. I wasn't blood related to my father, Samuel. He saved me when I was dying, but it was out of pity. I live in his pack after he took me in." Sometimes he would physically hurt me until I passed out on the cold floor of the basement. It's his way of disciplining me and to make me strong. He always says it's for my sake and the people around me. I have to be heartless. I learned all of that in my small, fragile body. It happened on my 16th birthday, where the father would pass the title to me, as he had no sons or daughters who could inherit the pack. Rouges attacked our pack, and I froze on the ground. It all went back to me, the memory of how rogues slaughtered my family and annihilated our small pack. Our pack members were being slowly ripped apart. I saw their dead eyes as their mates died in front of them. I couldn't move, but my father's slap made me snapped out of my thoughts. He had already transformed back to his human form with a wound on his body. I held his old, withering body in my arms. He had no emotions as his breathing labored. "Father," I called out his name. He looked straight into my eyes and spoke with his usual cold voice. "Marcus, if you want to protect the people around you, be a demon." My father closed his eyes with his hand firmly holding my shirt. I couldn't cry. The world was never fair, to begin with. I lay his dead body on the ground and transformed into my wolf. I only saw bloodlust. I ripped the rouges one by one. "Marcus, we found Mildred in the forest. She is dying." It was Wayne who mind-linked me. My heartbeats fastened. Mildred was the only woman who took care of me. She was a nagging mother for me. "Wait for me there," I said. I killed the rouges in my way, and when I got there, Mildred was lying on the ground with a shirt covered in her body. I knew what happened from the sight. I growled in anger. The rouges raped her and left her to die. "Marcus," she called my name affectionately. I could feel hot tears streaming down my face as I returned to being a human. I grabbed her hand while the warriors around guarded us. "I'm sorry," I said. "I'm really sorry." "Don't be. It's not your fault," she said while gasping for air. I squeezed her hand and gulped. "I only have a wish, child," she said. "What is it?" I asked. She smiled and was forced to reach my face with her trembling hand. "Be happy," she said, and with a smile plastered on her face, her hand dropped on the floor. I let out an inhumane growl. I became a monster that night. I became what my father wanted me to be, a heartless demon, and no one could save me. Once again, I couldn't protect the people that were important to me. I failed them, and it's entirely my fault for bringing misfortune wherever I am. Anya's point of view. Weakly, I got out of bed. I still can't get over the events that had happened yesterday. I touched my neck, and I couldn't stop the tears flowing down my eyes. What did I do to get him to treat me like this? Is this supposed to be the love I deserve? "Anya, I'm so sorry," my wolf said. Her voice was filled with sadness. I hugged myself tighter. I cried my heart out. What else can I do to get him to accept me? I smiled bitterly. I would do everything for him. "Luna," Lorraine said softly. I immediately wiped away my tears and gave a small smile at her. She approached me and sat down on the bed next to me. We sat in silence. "What else should I do, Lorraine?" I asked her. She did not answer, but she hugged me tightly. I could feel her rubbing my back to comfort me. The two of us were hugging for a few minutes when I decided to break the hug. "I'm fine now, Lorraine. You can leave me here," I told her while smiling. Her forehead furrowed. "Luna, I will accompany you here," she seriously said while holding my hand. I greatly appreciate her trying her best to comfort me, but I wanted to be alone. There's so much in my mind right now. "Then accompany me to the garden, and I want you to leave me there," I said and smiled. She was about to protest, but I got up and went ahead of her, picking my shawl on the chair and went out of the room. I'm glad Marcus wasn't around in the pack house because I don't know what would I do or say to him. Lorraine and I arrived at the garden. I sat on the porch swing and glanced around the flowers that had bloomed. It put a smile on my face. "Luna, do you want me to pick the flowers for you?" Lorraine asked. I shook my head once again and leaned my head on the swing. "There is no need for that, Lorraine. I will rest here, please," I told her. She let out a sigh and stood up. "All right, Luna. Call me if you need anything," she said with a smile and left. When she went inside the pack house, I grabbed the pillow lying on the wing and hugged it. I could feel my eyes slowly closing. It was already night when I woke up. I slowly sat up and saw a blanket fell on the ground. Lorraine must have put it on me when I was fast asleep. I touched the crook of my neck and winced at the pain. I got up and went inside the pack house. I grabbed the clothes from the cabinet and took a quick shower. I fixed myself before leaving the room and going to the kitchen. I saw my mate, Marcus, sitting on the chair while drinking his evening coffee. I stood outside, frozen on the ground. I couldn't bring my feet to walk and just stared at him. This man broke my heart into tiny little pieces, but the foolish me will still pick them up and put them back in his hands. I am like this when I love. I gave my all without leaving anything for myself. I will fight, but I'm also getting tired of fighting this battle all alone. I took a deep breath and walked, passing him. I took plenty of food from the refrigerator and began cooking it. After finishing, I washed the utensils that I will use and took the food I cooked. I'll just eat in my bedroom. I still can't talk to him. I will recharge myself first because my heart is tired. I am tired of understanding him. "Where are you going?" he asked while putting the cup of coffee down on the table. I flinched but did not answer. I heard him sigh. "Stay and eat your food in here," he said. I gulped, holding my tears back. He stood up and held my arm. I flinched at his touch and I heard him muttered strings of curses. He pulled a chair and let me sit while he went back to drinking his coffee. I started eating the food silently. I don't have the slightest clue of what he was doing because I was busy ignoring him. "Damn it," he exclaimed and slammed his hands on the table. I closed my eyes when I felt his hand on my face. I'm afraid of what he'll do to me again. I waited for him to hurt me, but that did not come. I'm sorry, I really am," he repeated. I cried while he was wiping away my tears and continued to comfort me. "Don't cry. I'm sorry," he said softly. I hugged him and cried in his chest. Damn this man. Even though I don't understand his behavior, I cannot deny that I love him very much. I kissed him while I was crying my heart out. I was momentarily dizzy when he kissed me back. I couldn't believe him. I let him carry me to his room. He slowly undresses me and made love to me as if I was a fragile woman. He was making me feel that he loves me too. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just sex to him, but for me, it wasn't. I slept happily next to him. I want to enjoy the moment because I know tomorrow he will change once again. Anya's point of view. "Luna, this is what you are supposed to wear," Lorraine said with a dress in her hands. I got up from my bed and grabbed it away from his hand. When I woke up earlier, Marcus wasn't by my side anymore. "What time will the Alpha of the Silver Moon Pack come here?" I asked Lorraine as I walked towards the mirror. "Alpha did not say anything about it, Luna, but maybe they may be arriving this afternoon. That's what my mate said to me." Lorraine answered my question. "I already want to meet the Alpha," my wolf said in glee. I'm glad she recovered because when I'm feeling down, she would feel it too and tried comforting me in every way that she can. "All right, Lorraine, I'll take care of myself," I said to her because I saw her carrying a makeup kit. "But Luna, the Alpha ordered me to take care of you," Lorraine said. I looked at her in the eyes. I don't want to get my hopes up. "Is it true that he ordered you?" I asked. She smiled at me and spoke. "Yes, he did, Luna. I don't know why, but I could feel my heartbeats fastened." I smiled at her. "Even if I think Marcus only did this so I could look presentable in front of the Silver Moon Pack, I'm happy." I told Lorraine that I would take a bath first so she could apply makeup on my face. Inside the bathroom, I still could not imagine that Marcus would do this for me. It's kind of amazing. He was also gentle with me last night when we made love, and now ordering Lorraine to take care of me. Is Marcus starting to change his heart? Can I take this being one of the changes he is showing? I smiled like I was out of my mind. "It is possible. He's changing for us," I said happily to my wolf. My wolf sighed and said, "There is nothing wrong with expecting Marcus to change, Anya, but just slowly. I don't want him to hurt you again." I did not answer and hurriedly take a shower. Last night, I was able to restore the pieces of my heart that he broke. Now I've become hopeful again. "Luna, your hair is beautiful." Lorraine praised me while she was holding my hair. She curled the end of it. Luckily, I inherited it from my mother. "I want to visit Mama. I miss them," I said to my wolf. "I became an orphan at such a young age. It's because of Alpha Blake's family that I was able to become one of their family. We will visit them soon. Don't worry," she replied. "Luna, put this dress first and I will continue to put your makeup on," Lorraine said and handed me the dress. I took it from her and went to the bathroom. When I came out, Lorraine was smiling at me. "You're beautiful, Luna. The dress looks good on you. Alpha will be head over heels when he sees you later," she said with her eyes twinkling in happiness. I looked at myself in the mirror once again. Lorraine made me sit down again and began her work. "It's over," she said cheerfully. I slowly opened my eyes. A girl was staring right back at me. "Is that me?" I asked. "Yes, Luna. I told you you're beautiful," Lorraine answered. "You're great at this, Lorraine. Thank you very much," I told her sincerely. "It's nothing, Luna," she said politely. There was a sudden knock on the door, and we heard the helper spoke. "The Silver Moon Pack has already arrived, Luna. Alpha Marcus is waiting for you downstairs." "We're coming," I said. Lorraine began cleaning her kit and put away her belongings. I let her out first. I stood up and inhaled deeply. "You can do it, Anya," I said to myself and opened the door of my room. I immediately saw Marcus waiting below. My heart started beating faster as if there was a race taking place inside. Marcus took my hand and whispered. "You look lovely," he said, and blew a breath on my neck which caused my cheek to turn red. "What is happening to him? He's acting weird today." "Marcus," calls a man. Marcus and I turned to him. "Joseph," Marcus said. "He is probably the alpha of the Silver Moon Pack." I looked at him. He was handsome, but Marcus was more handsome. He's also tall as Marcus. On his side, a woman is standing. She looks stunning. She clung her arms to Joseph while he held her waist. She is probably Alpha Joseph's mate. "Marcus, this is my mate Lee," Joseph said. Lee, this is Marcus Kingsley, Alpha of the Dark Hound Pack, an allied pack." He added and looked at Leah lovingly. Leah smiled and her dimples came out, which made her even more beautiful. "It was nice to finally meet you, Marcus," she said to my mate. Marcus smiled at her. "The pleasure's all mine, Leah," Marcus answered. "This is my mate, Anya. Anya, this is Joseph, the Alpha of the Silver Moon Pack. We have been allied for a long time now," he introduced me. Embarrassed, I smiled at the two. "Hello," I said softly to them and slightly bowed my head. Lee giggled. "Hello, Anya," she said cheerfully. I was taken aback by her greeting. I didn't know she's this cheerful behind the strict face she had. "Anya, go with Leah first. Joseph and I will talk about something," Marcus said. I nodded my head and waited for Leah, who was kissing her mate. I looked away from that scene and bowed because Marcus will never do that to me. "Shit, I almost forgot," I heard Marcus say. What did he forget? "Anya," he called me. I turned to him and I was shocked when his lips met mine. He kissed me. For a few seconds, I was like a mannequin standing there in shock when he suddenly spoke. "Take care," he said, and even kissed me on the cheek. Laughing, Leah approached me and patted my shoulder. "Sweet," she said. I came back to my senses and covered my face with my hands. "Did Marcus do that?" "Let's go?" Leah said. I looked at her. "Huh? Yes. Come on," I told her. We left the pack house followed by a werewolf. "Arcand, you don't have to follow us. Anya and I are going to be okay," Leah told her. "Maybe he's the beta." "But Luna, Alpha told me to watch over you," he stubbornly said to Leah. Lee sighed and pulled my hand towards the garden. I sat down while Leah explored. The man guarding Leah sat next to me. "Hi, I'm Arcand, Joseph's beta," he introduced himself to me. I actually don't want to talk to him, but I would look rude if I ignore him, so I introduced myself as well. "Anya," I said. Arcand told me a story. Leah returned to join us, but also left immediately because she saw a flower to her liking. Just like me, Leah also loves flowers. "Stay away from her, Arcand," the voice dangerously said behind us. Arcand and I looked at the owner of the voice and saw Marcus's handsome face, furious at what he saw, Anya's point of view. Marcus pulled me close to him. I felt my cheeks reddened. "Joseph commanded me to watch over Leah," Arcand simply said without a trace of concern or fear on his face. "Isn't he afraid of Marcus?" "Then what are you doing here beside my mate if you're guarding Leah?" Marcus asked, irritated. Arcand just shrugged his shoulders in response. My eyes widened as I can feel him tighten his grip on my arm. "What's happening here?" Joseph asked us. Marcus looked at him and glared. "The fucking problem is your beta, Joseph," Marcus angrily said. "Talk to him. I don't share what's mine. Tell him to fuck off," Marcus added. I would have liked Marcus for saying that. Joseph laughed out loud. "My friend, my beta is just right in front of you," Joseph muttered and pointed his beta. "What the fuck? Do you think this is funny?" Marcus sighed. It's clearly evident that he's annoyed with Joseph. Still territorial, eh? Fine, I'll talk to my beta, Joseph laughed. I saw Arcan scratch the back of his head and Marcus pulled me back inside the pack house. He let me into the room and slammed the door real hard. I flinched and backed away. One of his hands rose and was about to slap me. With the fear I'm feeling, I immediately closed my eyes and waited for his hand to land on my cheek, but after a few seconds, he did not hurt me. I opened my eyes and looked at him intently. "Why?" he asked me. I was confused by his question, so I did not answer. He sighed and pressed his forehead to mine. "Why did you close your eyes?" he asked weakly. I can smell his breath. Mint. I'm nervous. "I'm terrified of you," I whispered softly. He averted my gaze and cursed loudly. Marcus touched my cheek. "I'm sorry," he mumbled and left the room, leaving me all alone and confused. I went to the bed and lay, covering my eyes with my arms. "What are you doing to me, Marcus?" I whispered under my breath. I stayed in bed for minutes before deciding to get up. I can't just wallow in pity in this dark four corners. We have a guest that's needed me. I went down and saw Leah with Beta Archon sitting on the couch, drinking juice and eating sandwiches. "Anya!" Leah called my name and patted the space beside her. I smiled and slightly bowed my head. I went and sat beside her while she gave me a glass of juice and a sandwich she's having. "No, Leah, it's for you guys," I said, and kindly refused her offer. Leah rolled her eyes at me and put the sandwich in my hand. "Eat," she said with a smile. I let out a sigh and began eating the food. "I'm sorry about what happened earlier," I whispered. Leah chuckled and pat my back. "It's okay. I understand. That's the nature of the alphas, I think," she said while shrugging her shoulders. "Besides, it's us who should say sorry for agitating Marcus like that," she added. "I'm sorry," Arcan said and smiled at me. I shook my head and drank the juice in front of me. We talked, and I like how Leah is. She's sweet, caring, and above all, she is kind. Leah is really fitted to be the Luna of her pack. "So when did you arrive here?" Leah asked me. Recalling back the happening in the past in my old pack, Damien's assault, and Marcus's sister that almost died, it's been months of full events. "Months, I guess," I said. "Wow, really?" Leah mumbled, surprised. "I thought you've been here for years," she added. I just smiled at her and glanced at the office above, where I think Marcus was currently in right now with Leah's mate. "They've been in there since forever," Leah said and groaned while Arcan chuckled. "What are you laughing at?" Leah asked, a little irritated. "Joseph already told you that it will take hours, yet you still insisted on going, and now you're complaining," Arcan said. I couldn't help but smile. "Our beta is like an old man, right?" Leah whispered enough for Arcan to hear. I could feel my eyes widened. "Lee," I said, but she only giggled. "I'm kidding," she said. "Do you have plans this coming weekend, Anya?" She asked me and crossed her legs. "I don't know. I'll look it up first. Why?" I asked while playing with my hands. "I want you to invite you to our pack," Leah said. "I don't have a particular plan, but I don't know if Marcus would let me go. I haven't gone out of the pack house. I only went as far as buying necessities in the mall, but that's that." "Then I'll call you to see if I'm available," I replied. There's no wrong in talking to Marcus, right? I hope he won't hit me. I let out a sigh and listened to Leah talk once more. Marcus' point of view. I sighed for the 9th time as I reached my office. It left me in the sour mood after what in the room. The face my mate made did baffled me. I've become a monster and made her suffer. It wasn't her fault in the first place. Moon Goddess was the one that paired us, but I directed my anger in her, and she became the unwanted mate. I sat on the swivel chair and clasped my hand. It's the time I changed. I must have her forgiveness at all cost. I couldn't forget what happened with Arcand. Seeing her with another man infuriates me. I was annoyed. I saw blood and wanted to rip his throat. It was the first time in my life that I felt it. Even though I kept denying her sole existence as my mate, the bond was strong. The door burst open and Joseph went inside. "You looked bothered," Joseph said and sat on the chair in front of me. I made a face and straightened my back. "Don't you know how to knock, Joseph?" I asked him. I want to punch him for ruining my moment. "Nah, I don't know," he mockingly answered and smirked. Why did I become his friend again? Ah, I remember. He was one of the annoying kid that used to go here and spar with me. He is nothing but a mere nuisance to me at first. Joseph was stubborn and insisted himself to be my friend. "Want me to rip your head?" I said. "I'm scared, Marcus," he said and squealed, imitating the voice of a she-wolf. "Gross," I told him. He laughed, but his expression suddenly changed. I knew what his business with me. We haven't found Damien's body, and it was possible that he was still alive despite the fatal wound he had and when he fell off the cliff. "We got a lead on the rogues and a certain mage accompanying them," he seriously said. "We doesn't have the slightest clue if it was Damien who was leading them, but we're certainly sure that your pack was their target," he added. The smile on my face disappeared and was replaced by anger. "Damien, that fucking Damien. I don't know if he's alive or not, but he's still making trouble for us," I answered. "If I found out that Damien is alive, it's not just my sister that's in trouble, also my entire pack and Anya. I think they're recruiting rogues to kill you," Joseph said. "Man, you have lots of enemies," he added while chuckling. I couldn't deny that. "What's a mage doing in them, though?" I asked. "I don't know. Want me to ask our wizard friend to come here?" Joseph said, just like he said. "We also got a wizard on our side. Joseph met him in the club, and he introduced him to me." "If Kane would agree," I replied. "I don't want to involve more people in these matters. I had already involved Joseph and his mate in these mess." "You know we will fight beside you," Joseph said. "Thanks, man," I sincerely responded. "Ugh, I recalled something," he said out of nowhere. "I really hate that former deceased or not, beta of yours," he added. I chuckled. He always tell me how much he hated Damien, even though Damien didn't do anything to him. He said it was gut feeling, and boy, he's not wrong. Now, he was hunting as even in death. "I should have picked Arnold as my beta," I said and shook his head. "Start the training tomorrow," I told him. "What? Why are you ordering me?" Joseph said and made a face. "Fine. I will call my beta. Let your staff know that too," I said. "We need to beat Damien if he's truly Damien and let him pay for what he did," I added. Joseph nodded his head. A sudden knock on the door made me snap my head towards it. I smelled the sweet scent of my mate. "Come in," I said. When the door opened, my mate entered. "Coffee?" she asked. I smiled at her. "No. I'll pass, Anya. I still have to go to Leah," Joseph said. He stood up and said his goodbye to me and Anya. She put the coffee on my table and was about to leave my office, but I stood up and grabbed her arm. "Stay here," I demanded. She looked confused for a moment and sat on the chair where Joseph sat earlier. "Not there. Here," I said and pointed my laugh as I sat down. I saw her cheeks blushed. I really want to touch her face and kiss her lips. Anya walked towards me and timidly sat. I hugged her from behind and buried my head in her neck. "Marcus," she said in shock. I did not pay attention to her and inhaled her scent. "Fuck, you smell so good, Anya," I said and kissed her luscious lips. Anya's point of view. "What do you want to eat?" I asked Marcus. After the conversation we had in his office, Marcus decided to eat because he was already starving. "You?" he answered my question. I couldn't help but roll my eyes at him. "Hey, I'm serious. I want to eat you," he added and stared at me. "Marcus," I yelled. He laughed and put his arms on my shoulder, and I couldn't help but smile at him. His laughter was so good to hear, and it was me happy knowing I could make him laugh. "Okay, anything will be fine," he told me. I went to the fridge and prepared the ingredients I needed. What should I cook? Would Marcus like it? "Maybe they have ingredients here for pancakes," I mumbled. "Hey!" I jumped in surprised when I felt Marcus' hand wrapped around my waist. He buried his head on my neck. "What are you going to cook?" he asked me. I could still feel my heart going wild with his touches. "Pancakes. Is it okay?" I asked him. "I already told you. Anything is okay," Marcus said to me. I started mixing the ingredients, but I couldn't focus because of the position we had. "Marcus, go back there and sit down," I said and pointed to the chair. "Just wait until I finish cooking it," I added softly and tried to escape, but he only tightened his grip on me. "Nah, it's fine. Just continue your work," he said and grinned. I heaved out a sigh and continued cooking with him sticking close to me. After a few minutes, I was finally done. Marcus had a very different effect on me. I served the pancakes I cooked and joined him at the table. "Thank you. It's delicious," he said while smiling. For the nth time around, I was bewildered. "Ah, thank you," I stuttered and bowed. Marcus cupped my face and looked into my eyes. He slowly brought his face closer to mine. I closed my eyes and waited for our lips to touch. He did not disappoint me. He kissed me slowly, and I responded by kissing him back. It was only interrupted when we ran out of air. "The pancakes that came from your mouth were tastier, baby," he said and smirked. I feel myself blushed at his remark. "Where are you going?" I asked him because he suddenly stood up in his seat, but bowed my head when I realized it sounded needy, and Marcus hates it. "My office. I will be back later, baby," he answered, which made me happy. "I just need to do something," he added. He kissed me on the forehead, then left the kitchen. I put away the plates on the sink and went upstairs. "Looks like you're happy, Luna?" Lorraine asked me while smiling. I looked at the door and saw her leaning on the wall. I totally forgot that I left it open. I smiled at her. "It's you, Lorraine. Come in," I said. "Ignore me. I'm just silly," I told her. Lorraine walked towards me. She brought her face close to mine and stared at me. I immediately averted my gaze. "You're blooming, Luna. You can tell it to me," she excitedly said. I shook my head in her stubbornness. She pulled a chair and sat next to me. "It's nothing, really," I told Lorraine. "I do not believe," she said to me. I laughed. I trust Lorraine, so I breathed deeply and tucked my hair behind my ear. "Marcus and I are getting better," I said. She raised an eyebrow at me. "Why, Luna? Aren't you okay with Alpha?" she asked, confused. I covered my mouth. Lorraine did not yet know what had happened to us, neither Marcus's pack members. I looked at Lorraine and told her my story since I met Marcus and how we are doing today. After listening to my story, Lorraine angrily stood up and spoke. "Oh, that's wrong, Luna. He shouldn't have done that to you," she said while her hands were on her waist. "Even if he's your mate, he shouldn't have hurt you," she added. "But Lorraine, everything's fine now," I softly said to her. "He's good to me now," I added. "He should be," Lorraine said. That made me laugh. Over the past month, Lorraine and I have been close, and I am happy because I have a kind and reliable friend like her who will understand me and sympathize with me whenever I have a problem. "What are you thinking, Luna?" Lorraine asked. "I was just wondering how lucky I am to have a friend like you," I told her. "Luna," she said while pouting. "You are making me cry. I should be the one to thank you because you befriended me," she added and wiped the tears from her eyes. I stood up and hugged her. "Okay, let's stop this drama," I said. "Let's go downstairs. I want to visit the garden," I added. "All right, Luna," she said to me. Downstairs, a lot of werewolves gather outside the pack house. Lorraine and I stared at each other, and at the same time we left the pack house to see what they were looking at. "What's happening?" I asked a werewolf in front of us. "She's back," he replied to me. "Who?" I asked once again. He was about to speak when someone shouted, "Hello, everyone. I'm back. Did you guys miss me?" The woman yelled and smiled, showing her pearly whites. I can see in the reactions of the werewolves that they don't like this woman. "Tiffany," Lorraine whispered beside me. Why was I suddenly nervous when she mentioned her name? Who is she? Anya's point of view. "Tiffany, what are you doing here?" Marcus asked the woman. He had just come out of the pack house and approached her. Tiffany pushed the werewolves to her side and ran over to hug Marcus. "I want to rip her head. How dare her touch what's mine?" It suddenly dawned on me. I don't know anything about Marcus or the people around him. "Marcus, I miss you," she said to Marcus. I can feel my blood was boiling in anger. I want to punch her face. Thank the heavens I was able to hold back. "What are you doing here?" Marcus asked her once again and walked beside me. I saw Tiffany frowned when she was ignored by Marcus. "Well, I'll stay here again," she said to my surprise. "Again? So she has lived here before? If what I heard was right and that what she meant. What? Why? I thought you and your father were okay?" Marcus asked her. She raised her eyebrows and chuckled. "We've been okay for a long time. Why? Can't I come back here?" she asked Marcus. I looked at him and he lets out a sigh. "No, it's okay for you to come back here," Marcus said. He stared at me, smiled, put his arms around my waist, and looked back at Tiffany. "Tiffany, meet my mate, Anya. Anya, this is Tiffany, a close friend of mine," Marcus said. Tiffany's eyebrows rose again, but Marcus overlooked that. "You can also see on her face that she does not like me. I don't like her either. I don't like that she's touchy and close to my mate. I'll just send your belongings to the bedroom," Marcus said and gently pulled me into the pack house. "Marcus, wait," Tiffany shouted. Marcus and I stopped. What? Marcus answered, annoyed at her. Tiffany was stunned for a moment and seemed to be crying while I almost rolled my eyes in irritation. Her acting was so bad that I immediately noticed it. Won't you bring me to my room like before? She sadly said. No, I'm sorry. Have my beta's mate to bring you, Marcus said. I need to talk to my mate, he added and pulled me again. I feel like jumping to what Marcus said and teased Tiffany. I want her to know that she's only a friend to my mate, nothing more. You'll be sleeping in our room, Marcus said to me when we entered his room. I was frozen on the ground. I wanted him to repeat it because I'm afraid I heard wrong. He said, our. What? Can you please repeat that? I said to him like a fool. He chuckled and pulled me to make me sit on his lap. I said, you can sleep here from now on, he whispered and licked my neck. I shivered in delight. Why? I didn't finish what I was going to say when he started kissing me. I immediately wrapped my arms around his neck and played with his hair. He bit my lower lip, so I opened my mouth. He took that opportunity to insert his tongue. I moaned. God, his kisses were so addicting. You okay? Marcus asked after the amazing making love we had. I lay my head on his chest and happily listened to his heartbeat while he, in turn, played with my fingers. A blanket covered my body right now. I'm good, I replied. I heard him chuckled. Sleep, Anya. I know you are tired, he teased me. I jokingly rolled my eyes. Who wouldn't get tired of what you did? I said and chuckled. He smiled at me, showing his perfect white teeth. Guilty as charged, mate. Now sleep, he said. I happily closed my eyes as I will never forget this night. Never. Marcus' point of view. I watched my mate sleeping peacefully in my arms. I brushed her hair, covering her eyes, and kissed her forehead. Alpha, my beta said through the mind link. I clearly told them to not disturb me while I'm with Anya, but it seems urgent. Tiffany is missing, he said, which made me sad. What? I asked. What happened? I asked him. We did not know. I ordered one of our warriors to check Tiffany's room, but she noticed that no one was there, he replied. I sighed in irritation. Maybe she just went for a walk, I said. He's been missing Alpha for a long time, he said. Why didn't you tell me right away? I asked him angrily. I tried to contact you, Alpha, but you told us not to disturb you. We tried finding, but we failed, he explained. What was Tiffany playing at? I ruffled my hair and got up, putting my clothes back on. Wait for me outside, I said. I went to the side of the bed and watched Anya breathing softly. I bent down to kiss her on the lips. I'll be right back, baby. Dream of me, I said and left the room. Anya's point of view. I woke up with a smile on my face. While dressing up, I recalled the dream I had. It shows Marcus living a happy life with our child and me. I couldn't get out of my mind what happened last night. It was the best night of my life. We made love. Yes, it's not just sex anymore because I know and I feel Marcus loves me now. A smile crept its way on my lips while my wolf purr. I went out and searched for Marcus, but I could not find him everywhere. Marcus! I called and knocked into his office, but got no response coming from him. Disappointed, I walked back into our room. Stop frowning, Anya. Maybe our mate was just taking care of something, my wolf said. I heaved a sigh. I don't know why I'm paranoid like this. It felt surreal that he suddenly changed and that he's good to me. I'm afraid he'd go back to his past self. I will never forget that fear. That's why I'm eager for him to mark me. After being emotional in our room, I went out and walked to the kitchen. I was still wearing Marcus's clothes, and his smell was still on. I inhaled his scent, and I felt relaxed. Good morning, Luna, the helper greeted me while smiling. Good morning. Have you seen Marcus? I politely asked her and smiled back. I don't know where Alpha is, Luna, she said and bowed. Thank you, I said softly. I walked to the sink and took a glass when she spoke once again. Would you like me to prepare your food, Luna? She asked. I shook my head. As much I want to be pampered, I'd like to do things my own. It's the way I grew up. Not long ago, I was also a helper in the pack house of my previous pack. Thank you very much, but you don't need to. I'll make my own food, I told her. She bowed down and left the kitchen. I took the bread that was on the plastic bag while looking for something to fill it when I saw the Nutella container in a cabinet. I approached it and tried to reach it. Why can't I reach you? I said and frowned. Sometimes I hate being small. Just get a chair, will you? My wolf said. No, I can reach this, I stubbornly said. I tried to reach the Nutella again, but someone took the container. Marcus, I whispered and smiled. Marcus' point of view. I let out a sigh when I entered the pack house. When we found Tiffany in the forest, I could not immediately return to Anya because of a report from one of my sentinels who was attacked by rogues on the border while on patrol. I need to take care of that problem, and it took me a long time. Tiffany kept following me. She was almost attacked by the rogues. My suspicion was that they belonged to the werewolf that Joseph and I were talking about. There was still no evidence if it belongs to Damien or just random rogues trying to wage war with me. Why can't I reach you? I heard Anya say in the kitchen. I walked over to where she was and found her trying to reach the Nutella bottle with all her might. I smiled and leaned on the wall, looking at what he was wearing. She was still wearing the clothes I wore last night. I slowly approached her and hugged her from behind. She jumped in surprise and turned her head. When she saw me, she smiled. Marcus, she said, don't surprise me like that. You're giving me a heart attack, she says. I shrugged my shoulder and picked her up. I put her on the table and looked into her face, the face of my fated mate. I traced her eyes, nose, and cheeks down to her neck with my fingers. She just stared at me with a wide smile. I felt my heart skip a beat. She's beautiful, so damn beautiful. I slowly leaned over and captured her sweet lips. I slowly kissed her, savoring her taste. She kissed me back and wrapped her arms tightly around my neck. She moaned when I kissed her neck. Alpha, my beta said through the pack link. I stopped kissing Anya. We were both panting while I wait for my beta to speak again. We have a problem, Alpha, he said. What's the problem this time? What is it? I asked him. Rouge is Alpha, and there's too many of them, he said. I cursed internally. When will they perish? Marcus's point of view. Call Joseph now. We need backup in case some of them decided to show up. I'll be there in a minute and get ready, I ordered my beta. The enemy really doesn't know when to give up. What do they really want from my pack? I gripped Anya's waist tightly and pulled her close to me. I like how close our body together. I inhaled her scent and stroked her hair. What's the problem, Marcus? She worriedly asked. I kissed her forehead and planted a quick peck on her lips. Nothing, baby. I'll be back, okay? I said and put her down on the chair. Don't leave the pack house until I'm here, I ordered, and mind-linked the other warriors to guard the pack house while I was away. Oh, okay, she said and hesitantly smiled. I smiled back at her, kissed her forehead, and left the kitchen. I rushed outside, and my mind links my beta again. Location? I asked. In northeast near the cave, Alpha? Arnold replied. I stripped my shirt off and transformed into a wolf. I could feel my bones cracking and hair growing. When the transformation was completed, I immediately headed to the northeast side of our territory along with my warriors. We arrived at the northeast borderline and immediately saw Arnold's group and the warriors fighting off the rogues. The warriors who followed me also joined the fight. The gray wolf suddenly launches himself at me. I swiftly avoided his sloppy attack and bit his neck real hard, causing him to fall on the ground dead. Two of the Rouges started howling, calling for backup. Oh no, I will not allow you to call them, I said and gritted my teeth. These fucking Rouges. I rushed to the brown wolf and tackled him to the ground. The two of us were fighting, biting, and scratching each other when the other wolf jumped at me and bit my back. I winced in pain. Fuckers! Anya's point of view. I kept pacing back and forth in the pack house while biting my fingernails. I have no idea of what's going on. Why were there warriors guarding outside, and Joseph's warriors were also here? Is Marcus okay? God, I wanted to go out of the pack house to find out what was happening, but Marcus forbade me. I also did not want him to be angry with me when he found out that I did not obey his orders. Luna, calm down, Lorraine said and gave me a glass of water. My wolf whimpered inside me. She wants to know if our mate is okay. He's okay. He's strong. Our mate is strong, I assured her. Any news yet? I asked Lorraine. I can't even sit on the couch because of worrying. There is no news yet, she answered sadly and bowed. I know she is also worried about Arnold, but she does not show it. I sat down close to her and held her hand. Look who's here. It's the pathetic little mate of Marcus, a voice said. I saw Tiffany standing and leaning against the door. Leave us, Lorraine. Rest there. Just let me know when Marcus arrives, I ordered Lorraine. I don't want to use my status as the Luna, but it's the only I can make Lorraine leave. My wolf is angry, so am I. Seeing Tiffany makes me want to lose control and just slapped her face. Lorraine went to the kitchen. What do you want? I asked her. Marcus, I want your mate, she simply said and looked at her nails. Bitch! I stood up in my chair and glared at her. I want to shred her to pieces. How dare she say that? You can't take him away from me, I told her. She looked at me and smiled wickedly. We'll see about that, she sarcastically said and turned her back on me. I was about to pull her hair, but Lorraine was in a hurry to come to me. Lorraine? What happened? I asked her. I can feel my heartbeat raced faster. I let Tiffany leave. I do not want to waste my energy fighting with someone like her. The Alpha, she yelled. What happened to Marcus? What happened to him? I asked worriedly. Where's the pack doctor? I heard Joseph shout outside the pack house. I immediately went out and saw him helping my bloodied mate. He led Marcus inside and made him sat on the couch. What happened to him? I asked in tears. The Rouge attacked him, Joseph explained. Lorraine called the doctor, and he arrived immediately, carrying his bag with him. He examined Marcus and spoke. The wound inflicted on Alpha was not serious, Luna. His life was not in any danger, the pack doctor said to me. It will also heal immediately, he added. I breathed deeply, thankful for what he said. I thanked the pack doctor after he finished putting the bandage on Marcus's wounds. Joseph left me because he was supposed to go to his mate. On the other hand, Arnold is with Lorraine, helping her treat the wounded warriors who were with them in the fight against the Rouges. Why don't you take care of yourself, Marcus? I said while tears were streaming down my face. What if something bad happened to you? How am I supposed to live? I added and swiped the tears in my eyes. Don't leave me, I whispered in his ear. I look like a fool here talking to a sleeping person, I added and brought my face close to his face. Who said I was asleep, and who said I would leave you? Marcus said and slowly sat up. He looked at me and smiled. Oh heavens, Anya's point of view. What? Come on, Marcus, I said. Don't be stubborn and eat this, I added and moved the spoon near his mouth. Instead of taking it, he kept teasing me. I will admit, I am not used to this habit that Marcus kept showing to me. This side of him was far from the Marcus I know from the past. He is very playful. Is it forbidden for me to show my affection towards you? He softly asked and turned his back on me. I looked at him and frowned, but a smile found its way to my lips. Marcus is cute when he's sulking. It's not like that, Marcus, but you have to eat, I said and put the spoon back on the bowl. Your wound is healing, but you need to get stronger, I told him. Fine, he answered. He turned around and took the dish from me. He started eating the food I put on the bowl. After a few minutes, he finished the food and moved further away from me. Marcus? I called his name and moved beside him. I poked his shoulder, but I got no reaction coming from him. He ignored me and remained looking at the wall with his arms firmly crossed in his chest. I pouted my lips. I made him angry. Hey, Marcus, I'm sorry. I apologized to him and poked his back. He looked at me but kept silent. Alpha? Marcus? Hey, I called him, but still nothing. I let out a sigh and stood up. I hugged him from behind, buried my head in the crook of his neck, and whispered in his ear, Baby, I'm sorry. I saw him twitch his lips in an almost smile. I removed my arms that were hugging him. He turned to me, and he gently cupped my face. He then looked at my lips, and slowly he brought his face closer to mine until our lips touched. Thank you, he said as we parted. I catch my breath because of that kiss. He pressed his forehead to mine, and I couldn't help myself but smile. For what? I asked him. For taking good care of me, he said and hugged me. I felt different kinds of emotions swirling inside of me. It was the first I ever heard him saying he's thankful for me. He laid down the bed, and he motioned for me to lie down as well. I leaned my head on his chest and listened to his heartbeat while he, in turn, plays with my hair. I love this man, and I will wait for him until he is ready to tell me his problems. Unknown's point of view. Ugh, I groaned as the man in front of me punched me. I sat in extreme pain and grabbed my stomach. Why are you still not doing my command? It would be best if you did it quickly, he said to me. Shall I repeat it to you again? You have to manipulate Marcus to hurt and leave his mate. Why can't you do it? He shouted while holding my hair and mercilessly slapped me. I grabbed my bleeding lip. Even if I wanted to fight this man, I could not. He had my father's life and all our subjects' lives in the palm of his hands. The pack that my father took care of for a long time. Have mercy on me. Please don't hurt me. I will make sure that Marcus's mate will leave him, I said while crying, but he did not listen. He pulled an older woman from my pack and knelt in front of me. He grabbed his gun strapped to his side and aimed it at the woman's head. Don't. Please have mercy, I shouted at him, but he just smiled at me. He is heartless. He is a demon. Enough, the man beside him said while looking at us. Leave the woman be, Damien. We have a lot of things to do, the man added. I kept crying while Damien skied. He had a hideous scar on his face. Always be careful. Remember, your time's ticking, Damien said at the same time a gunshot rang out. I covered my mouth as my tears continued to flow in my eyes. The dead body of the poor woman he shot laid in front of me. I stood up and rushed at her. You beast! You are a devil! You have no mercy! I angrily said to him and slapped his chest. He grabbed my hand and pushed me to the floor. Damien pointed his gun at me and spoke. What? You don't remember? He said. Every time you fail, I'll get a werewolf in your pack to pay for the day you wasted, he said and left. I cried as I feel my heart broke. I approached the woman's corpse and laid it on my lap. Forgive me, I'm sorry. It's all my fault, I said while sobbing. I stood up and took off the jacket I was wearing. I covered her corpse and quickly left the warehouse. Ah! Why are you doing this to me? I yelled at the top of my lungs. What sin have I committed? I did my best to keep them out of harm's way, but why? Why, Moon Goddess? I shouted while crying. The sky seemed to sympathize with me because of the sudden rain. I transformed into my wolf and ran fast. I want to get away from it. I want to forget everything. I want to die. Suddenly, an alluring scent filled my nostrils, forest, spice, and something else. I breathed in the smell and shiver. He's here. I want to hide, but my wolf won't follow me. She wants to see him. Then a big wolf appeared in front of me. Mate, mate, come to mate, my wolf said, howling in joy. Shift, the big wolf said through the mind link. I was hesitant to shift, and can't allow him to see me, for I am not ready. It is not possible now, because he will only be hurt. He will only be affected by my problem and my pack, and I will never allow that. I said, shift, he ordered and handed me a shirt. It must be his shirt. I took it, and I went to a tree and transformed into my human form. Now let me see you, he said. I walked over to him. Look at me, mate, he commanded. I felt a jolt of electricity when he touched my face. I slowly raised my head until we looked at each other. It can't be. Tell me he's not my mate. Arcand, I whispered. Oh no, I'm doomed. Anya's point of view. Where are you going, Marcus? I asked him while crossing my arms. I was in the kitchen with Lorraine when I saw Marcus pass by the door. Into the woods, baby. My wolf is itching to run, he said, then shrugged his shoulders. I shook my head in disagreement. No, you can't. You're still injured and not yet fully healed, I said. Although the healing abilities of a werewolf were fast, I still can't risk it. I know Marcus's wolf really wants to get away and run until he gets tired after being confined in a room for days. Marcus approached me, grabbed my waist, placed his head on the crook of my neck, and whispered. Please, baby, he said, then licked my earlobe. Gosh! I wanted to let go of the moans stuck in my throat, but I held back because I knew Lorraine was looking at us with her sheepish smile. You are so stubborn, Marcus. Fine, you can run, I said and let out a sigh. What can I do? I can feel him twitch his lips. I think he's smiling. I grabbed her hair and played with my fingers. I really love doing this because it's soft and silky. Thank you. I'll be back later. I love you, Marcus said and kissed my forehead. As I sat back in the chair with a smile on my face, he walked out of the kitchen. I love you too, I replied, but my eyes went wide. It casually came out from the both of us. The 3 words, 8 letters that I longed to hear. I could feel my heart raced. Lorraine fake coughed behind me, so I looked at her, and she smiled happily at me. That was so sweet, Luna. I already missed my mate, Lorraine said, then giggled. I rolled my eyes at her, but the smile on my lips could not be erased. I could still hear what he has said to me, and that's sweet. We went back to talking until we thought about cooking. Lorraine taught me lots of new recipes to cook. We made a lot of food and served these today. I can't wait to taste it with Marcus, and I know it will run out later because of the number of werewolves wanting to eat. Thank you, Lorraine, I sincerely said to her and hugged her. It's nothing, Luna. It's my job to serve you, she said to me. I am fortunate to have a friend like her. Marcus's point of view. As soon as I left the pack house, I let my wolf take over. I bit the clothes I took earlier. We ran too deep into the forest, but I suddenly remembered what Arcan said. I was walking to the back of the house when I saw Arcan talking. It turned its back on me, so I did not see who it was. Arcan has been entering and leaving my pack as per Joseph's order. If you don't want to tell him, then I'll be the one who will. I heard Arcan say that he was furious, but what I'm curious about is, what are they fighting about? Don't. Please have mercy. He will kill my pack members when he finds out, the woman pleaded with him. Fuck. Why am I even listening to their conversation? I don't care, but I'm annoyed because that stupid Arcan was still here. He looked at where I was, and I immediately turned around. I acted as if I heard nothing when he called my name. Marcus. What do you need, Arcand? I asked while my back was still turned. I think the woman he was talking to earlier has already left. I need to talk to you, he said. Mother Fufker, if he says about snatching Anya away from me, I will kill him. I looked at him and spoke. About what? Stay away from her. Stay away from Anya, he said. Someone like you is not worthy of her. You will only hurt her, Marcus, he added seriously. What the fuck, Arcand? What is this gimmick? And who are you to say I do not deserve Anya? I angrily said and grabbed the collar of his shirt. Kill him, my wolf said. He's enraged. I will, I replied. You don't understand, Marcus. There will be a lot of harm if you continue to be with Anya. Stay away from her, he yelled, which got me flaring in anger. Damien is alive, he added and left. I was stunned for a minute. What does he mean by many will be in danger? What does he know? Now that he said that Damien was alive, I was pissed. That damned man was still wreaking havoc because she couldn't get my sister. I will never follow what he wanted. I can't leave Anya. I can't live without her, without my mate. Before, I was against the idea of having a fated mate, but now I will do everything to protect her, even if I die. Anya's point of view. Arnold, I told you to stop moving. Lorraine yelled and pulled her mate's hair. I took my cup and drank the coffee, smiling while watching the two of them. They were tasked to be with me today. Lorraine was bored, and it was her mate she chose to make fun with. I shook my head and resumed reading the magazine. Lorraine, look at this hideous thing you put on my hair, Arnold said to her. I lowered my magazine and looked at them. I laughed out loud when I saw Arnold's look. His hair is messy, and there are clamps that I do not know if the placement was even correct. Don't you like it? Lorraine said and pouted her lips. Arnold scratched his head and brushed his fingers in her cheek. I like it, honey. It looks nice, Arnold said while holding on to the pins that Lorraine put. Just keep going, he added. Lorraine looked at me and apologetically smiled. Buy me some food first. I like the half-green mango and the other yellow. Then you buy juice, salt, anchovies, chocolates, and gummy bears. Lorraine happily said to Arnold while clapping her hands. Arnold frowned at the foods Lorraine mentioned. Just the other day, we found out that Lorraine was pregnant and craving out-of-this-world foods. Arnold stood up in his chair, kissed Lorraine's on the cheek, and bowed to me before leaving the pack house. Honey, don't take it off on your hair, okay? Lorraine said. She walked over towards me and sat. Where else can I look for that kind of food? I heard Arnold muttered. Poor Arnold, I whispered to him. Blame it on my hormones, Luna, she said and laughed. I picked up the magazine again and read. Where is Alpha? She asked me. He's busy. He's searching for Damien's hideout now that he's sure that he's alive. Marcus was gathering information about the Rouge armies that Damien plans to do, I told her. She nodded while I let out a sigh. I miss our mate, my wolf said. She is sad that he has not been with his mate for a long time because of pack matters. I miss him too, I told her. I'm sorry, Luna, Lorraine said softly. I looked at her. Why? I asked. Because of my questions about the Alpha, you suddenly felt sad, she said to me as if about to cry. I panicked and gently rubbed her back. Lorraine, I'm okay. I'm not mad at you. I just missed Marcus so much, I said while stroking her long hair. Are you sure, Luna? She asked. Yes, I replied. Lorraine immediately wiped the tears from her eyes and touched her stomach. Lorraine caressed it and smiled at me. Do you know, Luna? When I give birth, I will name my son Aries, she said with a smile. I frowned. Why do you want Aries? You don't even know the gender of your son, right? I asked her. I read this name in the book Greek mythology the other day. No, Luna, but I have a strong feeling that it's a boy, she replied to me. I thought about it. I have one in mind. If I get pregnant and it's a girl, I want to call her Venus, I said. As far as I know, Aphrodite has that name in Greek. Venus was her Roman name. She's the goddess of beauty and love. She will be a perfect match for my son, she said and squealed loudly. I raised an eyebrow. She looked at me and continued her explanation. Because in Greek, Luna, Aphrodite has an affair with Ares. Maybe our children will become one in the future too, he added. Oh my gosh, Lorraine, you're crazy. Your child hasn't even come out yet and I'm not pregnant yet. What are you saying there? I shook my head at her. The door creaked open and Arnold came carrying bags that I think the foods that Lorraine wants. As soon as he arrived at her side, he gave her a tender kiss. I turned my back on them and pouted. I'm envious. I wished Marcus was here with me too. What's wrong, baby? You don't look fine, somebody whispered in my ear. I immediately turned around and was greeted by the tired but handsome face of Marcus. Marcus, I said and jumped towards him, and he immediately caught me and grabbed my waist. Why did you do that? It's dangerous, Marcus yelled. I flinched. What if I didn't catch you? You'll fall and get hurt. Anya, please be careful, he added angrily. I bowed my head and buried it in his neck. I'm sorry. I just really miss you, I said to Marcus, and I have trust in you. I know you will not let me get hurt, I added with a matching smile. He sighed and kissed my forehead. I miss you too, baby, so much. I came here because I can't concentrate on my work. I need to see you, he replied. I could feel the butterflies in my stomach going wild. Let's have a date, baby, he added. I think I blushed. You're cute when you blushed, he said in a deep, husky voice, then chuckled. Why does it sound so sexy? Unconsciously, I bite my lip. Don't do that here, Anya, he said in a serious tone. I stared at him. Because I might lose my control and take you here in this room, he added. I was stunned. Seriously, he must be joking. I'm not, baby. I'm serious, so don't bite that luscious lips of yours because that's my job, he said, then smirked. I immediately covered my mouth. Not that I do not want it, but because I am ashamed, because we're not the only ones in the room. Did Lorraine and Arnold hear us? For goodness sake, werewolves have a great sense of hearing. I'm sure they heard. It was embarrassing. Don't mind them, baby, he said and chuckled. They won't listen to our conversation, Marcus added. He seemed to be enjoying teasing me. How do you know what I'm thinking? I asked him. Silly. It's obvious on your face. Now go to our room. There's a dress in there. That's what you will use later on our date, he said, and gently pushed me to where the door was. I followed him and walked out of the game room. And Anya? He said, stopping me. I looked at him and waited for what he would say. I love you, he sweetly said. I love you too, I replied and quickly ran to the bedroom. When I entered our room, I smiled like a teenager who got noticed by her crush, and I touched my chest. It was pounding so hard. I squealed and jumped in joy. Marcus, what are you doing to me? Anya's point of view. Luna, you are so beautiful, Lorraine said, then giggled. I smiled at her and turned my gaze back to the mirror. I didn't expect I'd pull this look off. Lorraine was the one who put the makeup on, and I will give her credits for that. She's amazingly talented. She was even great when it comes to styling hairs, while I have no knowledge of it. I ran my fingers through my hair curled by Lorraine and stood up. Alpha will definitely drool, eh? He sees you. Luna, Lorraine said. I let out a chuckle. She's being silly, while I couldn't take away my nervousness. Lorraine, how many times should I tell you before you get it? I told her. Call me Anya, I added. I'm sorry, Lou, Anya. I'm more used to calling you Luna, she said and smiled sweetly at me. I heaved out a sigh. Well, I can't help it if she is used to it. I'm nervous, Lorraine, I confessed to her and sat down once again. She calmly walked beside me and put her hands on my shoulders. Lorraine smiled, brushed my hair, and spoke. Don't be nervous, Lou, Anya. Everything will be okay. It will be a perfect date. Trust me, she said to me. I breathed deeply and let myself calm down. Lorraine's right. It will be okay. There's nothing terrible going to happen. I muttered my thanks to her, glanced at myself one more time in the mirror, and walked out of the room. Arnold immediately greeted me by bowing his head. "Luna, Alpha Marcus ordered me to take you to him," he said to me, and I nodded in response. We went out of the pack house, and he opened the car door for me. I was surprised when he suddenly reached out his hand and handed me something. A box with paper glued in it. I took it from and read the letter. "Wear this, baby." This is just a letter from him, but I feel like I'm going to faint. I entered the car. With trembling hands, I opened the box. I gasped. It contained a gorgeous gold heart necklace with engraved A&M, and attached to it was a blindfold. "I don't want to spoil my surprise, baby, so wear this blindfold. I love you, M." This is what is written in the second letter. "I love you too. I want to tell him that." I was restless on the whole ride. I wanted to get where Marcus is as soon as possible. "Luna?" Arnold called, bringing me back to my senses. I asked for Arnold's help putting the necklace and blindfold on. Then we stopped. Maybe Arnold and I already arrived. I felt him open the door and help me down. I felt anxious. I wanted to take this blindfold off and look for Marcus because I felt Arnold had left. God, where the hell is he? How long does he want me to wait for him? "Calm down," my wolf reassured me. "Marcus, where the heck are you?" I shouted but got no response. Where the heck is he? I asked myself. I suddenly got nervous because I thought the Rouges might have found out that Marcus and I are here now. I immediately removed my blindfold and wait for my eyes to adjust the lights in the place. Instead of a ruthless bunch of Rouges, I saw small lanterns scattered in the ground. Then there he is, the man I love, standing in the middle of heart-shaped lanterns holding a bouquet of flowers, red tulips to be exact. A smile escaped my lips. Marcus slowly walked over to where I was, and when he arrived, he handed me the flower. He put his hands on my waist and pulled me closer to him. I put my hand on his chest and leaned over. "Do you know the meaning of red tulips, my love?" he asked me. I looked at him and shook in response. He brought his face close to mine and whispered in my ear. "Red tulips are the color of choice to express that you are deeply in love," he explained. I gasped. "Oh, Marcus, I could kiss you right now." He seemed to have read my thoughts, so he looked at my lips and claimed it. Passionate yet slow, as if he was enjoying every second that our lips met. He pulled away from me and looked into my eyes. "I know that dress will be perfect for you, Anya. You look dazzling tonight, baby, and the necklace suits you very well," he said, causing me to blush ferociously. "Come, let's eat before our food gets cold," Marcus said and helped me on the chair. We ate the dishes served on the table. The food tastes good. "What do you think of this place?" he implored me after we ate. I saw the concern on his face, but I shrugged it off. I looked around to see the whole place. "It's beautiful," my wolf purred in happiness. It's beautiful, Marcus. "Thank you," I said to him with a broad smile. He seemed relieved by what I said. He held my hand and helped me up. "What are we going to do?" I asked him. "We're going to dance, baby," he simply said and played a song. "What is the title of this song, Marcus?" I asked him when it started. It was beautiful. "I think it's called All About Us," he answered me before swinging me around. I hugged him, and he did the same to me as we listened to music together and danced slowly. Marcus held me tightly and kissed my forehead. "I'm sorry for everything I've done, baby," Marcus said sadly to me. I quickly looked at him and shook my head. I had forgotten all of that, and I forgave him. What matters to me that we're okay now? "It's all in the past, Marcus. I forgive you, so don't think about it. The important thing is the present," I said to him and smiled. Marcus was still hesitant, but it immediately disappeared when I kissed him on the lips. "I love you, Anya," he sincerely said. "I love you too, Marcus," I replied, and we sealed the ending song with a kiss. After that, we decided to stargazing, and when we got tired of laughing and talking, we slept in the tent that Marcus brought along. Lorraine was right. This night was perfect. I smiled and drifted off to sleep. Anya's point of view. "Come on, we need to leave," Marcus sternly said. He's in a foul mood because our pack has been attacked by Rouges, again, without our presence. One pack member is in critical condition right now. Damn Rouges. I hurried to follow him as not to increase his bad mood. His breathing was rigid and his body was stiff. I put my hand on his arm to calm him down. His eyes flickered, from black back to its original color. I know he's on the edge of shifting, but he's trying to calm his wolf down. I snuggled close to him as he inhales my scent. We stayed in that position for about 2 minutes, then we decided to leave. After 10 to 15 minutes, we arrived at the pack house. Marcus hurried out of the car to go to his office, and I went straight to the pack clinic. "How is he?" I asked our pack doctor. He smiled at me first and looked at the man with the bandage on his body, who was fast asleep. "He is fine. He wasn't breathing at first, but we revived him. Fortunately, his body was able to recover with the wounds he sustained," the pack doctor explained to me. "Right now, he just needs to rest and drink his medication," he added. I nodded and thanked him. I met Adrian's mate, Lucy, and she is very grateful that her mate is safe from harm, especially since she is about to give birth. I was angry with the Rouges. Because of their attack, there was a werewolf about to die. I politely said goodbye to Lucy and went to Marcus's office. "I won't do it. Leave Arcan before I fucking kill you," I heard Marcus's angry voice. I hurriedly opened the door, but suddenly someone opened it before me. Arcan came out from his office, Joseph's beta. What is he doing here? And what did he say to Marcus that made him angry? "Arcan," I called softly to him. Arcan looked at me and smiled before walking away. I heaved a sigh. I went inside Marcus's office. He didn't seem to notice me because he was bent over and looking at the pictures on his table. The tiredness was visible on his face, but even so, he is still handsome. "Marcus," I called as I slowly approached him. Marcus looked at me, then he motioned to sit in his lap. I immediately followed him and sat. I put my hands on his disheveled, smooth hair and traced his eye bags. "My baby looks tired. It's making me sad," I cooed while pinching his cheeks. He chuckled and planted a quick peck on my lips. "Not anymore, because the most beautiful woman is in front of me right now," he playfully said. I laughed. "You are kidding me, right?" I said to him while smiling. "What are those, Marcus?" I asked and pointed to an envelope. He stiffened. "Those are the pictures that show where Damien could possibly be hiding," he replied. Anger was visible in his eyes, and his hand was also clenched into a fist. I took his hand, and I intertwined his fingers into mine. I felt his body relaxed. "Come on, let's eat. I'll make you something," I said and smiled. He nodded and helped got back to my feet. We walked out of his office hand in hand and went to the kitchen. "What would you like to eat?" I asked him as I scanned the refrigerator. I pulled out the ingredients I might need. I felt Marcus's hands wrapped around my waist. "You," he said, then nibbled my ear. A moan escapes my mouth. I turned to him and looked him in the eyes. Desire, longing, and love, I could see all of it. He hungrily kissed my lips, and I kissed him back with the same intensity. I missed him, and I missed this. I tugged at the collar of his shirt, wanting for more. He kissed the spot where his mark will be put right between my collarbone and neck. I arched my back in pleasure. "We should probably stop. As much as I want this, I'm hungry. We need to eat, baby," I said breathlessly to him. Marcus nodded his head. He quickly kissed my lips and sat down. I cooked baked mozzarella bites and prepared our drinks. I approached the table and set the food down along with the pitcher. "Hey, are you okay?" I asked him. "Yes, I'm okay. Don't mind me," he said, then kissed the back of my hand. A while ago, I saw him staring into the distance and seemed to be deep in thought. "You sure?" I asked him again. "Yes, definitely," he assured. I sat down and took a piece. "Anya, always remember that I love you, and I don't intend to hurt you for no reason. I may hurt you, but it doesn't mean that I don't love you. Always think that it's for your own good. I will protect you, Anya, even if it costs me my life," Marcus suddenly said, which stopped me from eating. I looked at him with questioning eyes. Did something happen? He never spoke again. I smiled and said, "I will remember that, Marcus. I love you too," I said, then hugged him. "I don't even know what's going on right now, but I believe you, Marcus. I trust you with all my heart." Anya's point of view. "Lorraine, you're making me dizzy. Please sit down," I said to her. She looked at me and was about to cry her heart out. I let out a sigh. I approached him and tried to calm her down. "Maybe there's an explanation for what you saw," I told her. She shook his head and tears began to pour from her eyes. I helped her sat down on the chair and pulled her closer to hug her. "He cheated to me, Luna," she said, a trace of anger in her voice. After Marcus and I talked in the kitchen earlier, we heard Lorraine and Arnold were fighting. I found Lorraine crying while Arnold went out of the pack house, so I told Marcus to follow his beta. I saw him with a woman. They were sweetly hugging outside, and the worst part was he even kissed her. He's a cheater. Lorraine yelled and sobbed. I shushed her and rubbed her back. Is he not satisfied with me? With what we have? Have I become ugly in his eyes? That's why he decided to do that? She asked. A sudden knock interrupted the two of us, and we both turned our heads to look at the door. I stood up and opened it. I saw Marcus outside, leaning on the wall. Arnold wants to talk to her, he said. I nodded my head and glanced at Arnold, who was behind him. I let him in the room. What is he doing here? Cheater, Lorraine yelled. She was angry, and it was already instilled in her mind that he's cheating on her. Arnold bowed his head to what Lorraine said. You need to talk, Marcus seriously said. Lorraine whimpered. I pity her, but she couldn't defy Marcus, and he's right. They need to talk to clear their problem. Marcus took my hand and closed the door. I leaned on his chest. Do you still have work to do? I asked him. He nodded and kissed me on the forehead. Don't worry, I'll be back later, Marcus said to me. Marcus accompanied me until I got into the living room and said goodbye because he went back to the office. I walked out of the pack house and went to the garden. I sat on the swing and feel the breeze on my skin. Arnold said Damien doesn't stop collecting rouges for the armies he will use to get his revenge. Tiffany, I whispered as a woman came out of the car. I don't see Tiffany much in the pack house, and I think today was my unlucky day seeing her here. As much as possible, I don't want the two of us clashed. Marcus had so much in his mind right now, and I don't want to add by fighting off a total bitch like Tiffany. She looked around, and when she saw me, she smirked. I raised an eyebrow as she began to walk towards where I was. What do you want, Tiffany? I eagerly asked her. She stopped right in front of me and crossed her arms. Tiffany stared at me with a smile on her lips, and what I did was stare back. I want your mate. I want Marcus, she said without hesitation. I growled at her. Ours! He's our mate, bitch! My wolf snarled. Kill her! Rip her head off, she added. He's mine, I shouted. I saw her flinch a little, but she immediately composed herself. He was mine first, she shouted back at me. I was a bit taken aback, but I don't intend to lose to her. He's not yours, Tiffany, and he will never be. You're one persistent bitch, I angrily spat. She remained standing in front of me. Are you sure about that, Anya? He hasn't even marked you yet, she smiled. You might be surprised when you wake up one day that your dearest mate is with me, she added. I froze. That bitch, my wolf angrily said. I bowed. I kept hearing Tiffany's voice over and over in my mind. Marcus hasn't even marked me. She was right. We haven't completed the mating. Don't let it bother you, Anya. Marcus loves us, my wolf said. Oh, why can't you speak now, Anya? Cat got your tongue? She mockingly said. Marcus loves us. I should have not let Tiffany affect me. He will mark us to be his. Soon. That will never happen, Tiffany. Marcus loves me, and he will never be able to hurt you and me. You will be left defeated and miserable, I said to her and smiled sweetly. I will not lose to you. Eat that bitch. She shot a glare at me, but smiled. We'll see, Anya. We'll see who's going to lose, she said with a smile and left. I sat down and held onto my chest. Why was I suddenly nervous about what she said? Anya's point of view. Not now, Anya. Not now, Marcus angrily said as I entered his office. I bowed down and bit my lip. I felt suffocated. What is happening to him? I haven't even done anything yet. He gets angry right away. It's been a week since Tiffany and I fought, and Marcus was in a foul mood the next morning. I know he has been stressed and bombarded with the rogue's past attacks, but I am always here next to him. He can ask me for help, and I would gladly do it. Is this what Tiffany is saying? Or maybe I'm just paranoid. I would like to ask what food you want for later, so I can tell Aunt Rosa what to cook, I told him with a smile. He looked at me for a moment, but immediately returned to work with the papers and documents he held. No thanks, Anya. I will not eat here later. Leave my office, he slowly said. He's not calling me in the endearment he gave, just Anya. Why does it feel like my heart was pierced in intense pain when he calls me by my name? Where are you going? Can you take me with you? I asked him while playing with my fingers, hoping he would allow me to be with him. Can you leave, Anya? Can't you see I'm fucking busy? He angrily shouted. I was stunned for a minute, then I composed myself. I tightly gripped the hem of my shirt. Why does Marcus seem to be returning to the way he was in the past? I tilted my head and smiled at him. My heart clenched as if it was about to cry over Marcus's behavior. Is that so? All right, I'm leaving, I whispered. Don't get tired and hungry, okay? I love you so much, Marcus, I added and slowly walked to the door. I hope he will stand up and stop me from coming out. That he apologized and hugged me, whispering sweet nothings in my ear. But he didn't do it. I wiped away the tears I had previously avoided releasing as I talked to Marcus and took a deep breath. He's just tired, Anya. Just understand, I said to myself. I found myself walking to the living room. Where are you going, Lorraine? I asked her when I saw her totally dressed up. I sat down on the couch. They made up, and Arnold correctly explained everything to her. Lorraine found out that Arnold did not cheat on her, nor he does have any woman. He explained that the woman who hugged him was just his friend. Arnold felt sorry for her because of what happened to her family, so he hugged her, but he did not think that his friend would kiss him. Lorraine saw the kiss and assumed that he was cheating. Arnold and I were going out, Luna, Lorraine said. He was so kind and asked me for a date. We are also planning to buy our baby's belongings, she added with a smile. Her eyes showed happiness. I smiled sadly at her. Take care, okay? I said. Maybe Lorraine noticed my sadness, so she approached me and sat down next to me. What happened, Luna? She asked. I hugged my knees and began crying. It looks like he's back to his old self, Lorraine, I said to her while sobbing. She rubbed my back and comforted me. I don't know if I did something wrong. That's why he's like that, I added. Feel like he's slowly slipping away from me, I said to Lorraine while my tears fell in my shirt. She hugged me, and I could do nothing but cry. After a few minutes of crying, I calmed down as well. Are you okay now, Luna? She asked. I found out that she secretly mind-linked Arnold and did not continue their plan. I'm okay now, Lorraine, I answered. Thank you because you're here and for not leaving my side. I'm sorry because of me, your plans with Arnold got canceled. I apologized to her. She shook her head and held my hands. Luna, it doesn't matter. There were still many opportunities for us to go on a date, Lorraine said. Besides, I'm happy that somehow you stopped crying, he added. Lorraine and I talked for a little more, then I bid her my farewell. I thank her once again before entering our room. I laid down and looked at the ceiling above me. He also does not often sleep here in our room. I hugged myself and cried. I felt cold because nights without him by my side felt so lonely. I need his warmth because it gives me protection and comfort. It tells me that he's not going to leave me, that he will stay by my side forever. But the funny part is, he's not here with me. Anya's point of view. Good morning, everyone, I shouted when I entered the kitchen. I decided not to mop in the room. I know Marcus will eventually come back to me. He just needed some time to deal with the pack works. Luna, you surprised me there, Lorraine said to me. I chuckled and pulled a chair. I sat down and raised a peace sign at her. I'm sorry, I answered. You must be thrilled today, Luna, Lorraine said. I just smiled at her in response. I did think about what happened yesterday, and I admit that I was hurt, but after thinking last night, I concluded to understand Marcus more. He's on the crucial point right now. It isn't easy, and I decided to help him with his task. Lorraine, help me cook, please, I said. I will cook Marcus's favorite food, I added. He nodded and smiled at me. I stood up and prepared the ingredients for that dish. Luna, it looks delicious. I'm even drooling myself, Lorraine said while tasting what I had cooked. Really? I asked her happily. Of course, Luna. I'm sure Alpha will like it, she said. I hope so too. I put the dishes on the plate and put the rice on another plate. Once I had them all ready, I grabbed the tray on the side and put them all. Thanks for the help, Lorraine, I told her and left the kitchen, bringing the tray with me. It's nothing, Luna. Go and get him back with your food, I heard her say. I shook my head at her silliness and walked over to Marcus's office. Marcus? I called his name from outside and knocked. I waited, but there's no response coming from him. I turned the knob and found that it wasn't locked. I slowly pushed the door open, but I was frozen on the ground and dropped the tray I was carrying. Marcus? I said softly as my tears began to flow. It was as if I could not believe what I was seeing in front of me. If it were a nightmare, I would have woken up immediately. My fated mate and the same man I love was naked while kissing Tiffany, who was not even covered. I felt my heart was completely shattered to pieces. It was painful. I couldn't believe what I saw. Why? Why did he do this? Didn't he say he loves me? Is everything just a lie? Marcus looked at me. Get dress, he ordered to Tiffany. She nodded and kissed Marcus's cheeks before leaving. She passed by me with a victorious smile on her face. Why? I stuttered while asking. I got bored, he coldly said and crossed his arms. But you said that you love me? I asked him weakly. My world collapsed when he answered. It's all just an act, the act of fooling you, and you fell in my trap, he said while looking straight into my eyes. But I love you. I even gave you everything, Marcus, I yelled while clasping my chest. Why did you do this to me? Am I not good enough, Marcus? I added. I rushed to where he was and slapped him on his chest again and again. I'm in so much pain right now. I did everything for him. I gave everything but this, what I received from all of that. I don't want your love or anything from you, Anya, he flatly said and held my hand tightly. I swiped the tears in my eyes and looked at him. Fight for him, Anya. The fight is not over yet, my wolf said. The fight was over because, in the first place, we already lose, I replied. I smiled bitterly and bowed my head. Tears began streaming down my face. I already know, Marcus, because I am your unwanted mate, I mumbled. I quickly ran out of the pack house. I shifted to my wolf form and ran through the forest. I'm so sorry, Anya. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't be hurt like this, my wolf, Amina, said. Sadness is visible in her voice. Sadness for losing our beloved mate. Don't be. You are not at fault. I am at fault because I'm too plain for his liking. I said to her, because of me, you lost your mate. I'm sorry, Amina. I'm not like Tiffany, who is beautiful and sexy, I added. My heart ached. Don't you dare compare yourself to her, Anya. You are better than her. Remember that, Amina said, which relieved me. We rested on the big tree, seeing that we're already out of the pack's vicinity. 5 minutes of rest and resumed running once again. We ran and ran for almost 3 hours. I shifted back to my human form. I put on the clothes that I took off earlier. I leaned against the tree. Suddenly, I heard a twig snap, and 2 big wolves emerged from the forest. What are you doing here in our territory, Rogue? The gray wolf said, then growled. I'm just passing by. I didn't know there was a pack here, I said. I'm not a rogue. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience, I added and stood up. I'm starting to get dizzy, and what I did was to grab the tree to get support. Hey, are you okay? Hey! That's the last thing I heard, before everything around me went black. Note, indicates that flashback or dream ends. Anya's point of view. Wake up, Mommy. Wake up, I heard the little voice said. I slowly opened and squinted when the light hits my face. I rubbed my bleary eyes and looked around me. Where am I? I asked the girl in front of me, who was smiling widely. Who are you? I asked her once more. She did not answer my questions. Instead, she bends down a little and kissed me on the cheek. I smiled, the sweetness and the beauty of this child. I love you, Mommy, she said and giggled. Mommy? Why did he call me Mommy? She stood up and started walking away from me. I panicked and tried to reach her but I couldn't. Something was pulling me. Wait, I called her, but she suddenly disappeared. Hey, miss, wake up, a deep male voice said. I slowly opened my eyes and looked around the room. Where am I? Is this the pack of the 2 wolves earlier? This is probably their clinic as well. I looked at the man sitting to one side. What happened? I asked him weakly and tried to get up. You passed out earlier in the forest, he replied. May I ask you a question? He added. I just nodded my head as an answer. By the way, my name is Alan, and I am the alpha of this pack. What's your name? My eyes widened at what he said. He's an alpha. I'm Anya, sir, I said, and immediately bowed my head as a sign of respect. Hey, no need to do that. I just want to know what the name of your pack is. Alan asked me. I remained bowed, holding back tears from my eyes. Marcus' infidelity came to my mind again. Dark Hound, I answered in a small voice. So why are you here? He asked once more. I clutched the blanket tightly. I ran away, I slowly told him. The tears I had been holding back were completely streaming down my eyes. Why did you run away? Don't you know that it will put you and your unborn child in danger? He said, which made my eyes widened in surprise. I looked at him momentarily, then my glance went to my stomach and touched it. I'm pregnant? I'm pregnant with his child. Oh God, how will I handle this without him? Calm down, Anya. We can do this, my wolf interrupted, sensing my anxiety. She's nervous and happy at the same time, knowing we're carrying a baby, yet sadness, pain, loneliness, and betrayal are visible in her voice. It's the same feeling that I feel. Hey, are you okay? You're pale, Alpha Alan worriedly asked. I'm okay. I'm sorry, but I can't go back to his pack, I answered. I don't want to see Marcus right now. Don't worry, I'll leave. Thanks for taking care of me, Alpha Alan, I said as I tried to stand up. I was about to fall, but Alpha Alan quickly helped me. No, stay here in my pack, he said while holding my hand. I'm not telling you to leave. It's dangerous out there. You and the unborn child might be in danger, he told me. I felt relieved because, honestly, I hadn't thought of a place to go when I ran away, but I can't accept Alan's offer. I'll just become a hindrance to them like I was in Dark Hound. I don't want to be in Blue Moon because I know he will find me there immediately. Thank you for your kindness, Alpha Alan, but I can't accept that. You have helped me too much because you did not leave me unconscious, I told him. I insist, Anya. Stay here until you give birth, Alpha Alan said. I let out a sob and squeezed his hand. I did not know that someone would accept someone like me. What's wrong? Are you in pain? I'll call the pack doctor. Just tell me, he asked me worriedly. No, I'm okay, Alpha. I'm just so happy, I said to him and smiled. Thank you very much. Thank you, I told him. He smiled at me, showing his dimples. Alpha Alan is handsome. His body is well built. Toned chest, strong jaws, and he also had a pair of gray eyes. Just rest here, okay? I'll just send you food, he said to me. He left the room and I was left alone. I took a deep breath and looked at the emptiness, comforting myself with the silence. I touched my belly again. We can do this, baby. We can handle it, I whispered. I'm sorry because I can't give you a whole and happy family. Your daddy doesn't want me, baby, I added and wiped the tears in my eyes. Baby, even if daddy isn't here, mommy is with you. I will not leave you, I said while rubbing my belly. Remember, I love you so much, my child. I will give you everything, I added, wishing that happy days will arrive soon. Marcus's point of view. Note, this was before the scene that Anya saw happen between him and Tiffany. What do you want? I coldly asked the man standing in front of me. Nothing. I just want to make sure you'll follow the deal, Damien said while grinning evilly. I gritted my teeth and glared at him. I want to fucking punch him. No, kill him instead, but I can't. I fucking can't do it. He revealed himself several days ago, accompanied by a wizard. I attacked him, but the wizard was protecting him. I don't know how he survived the fall on the cliff. Now he's making a deal with me. I'll follow the deal, Damien. Make sure that you won't hurt her or I will kill you, I angrily said. Even if I have to call my friends, I will do it if he breaks his deal first. Kill him, Marcus. We are superiors, my wolf said, eager to kill. You know I can't do that, buddy. I can't kill him yet, I replied. Oh, I'm afraid, Alpha, he said in a voice full of sarcasm. I growled while the wizard looked at me. Okay, chill, man. I won't hurt her if you follow the deal. Remember, Marcus, make her hate you, and I'll spare her life, your pack, and Tiffany's pack, he said, then vanished in the forest. This is the only way to save her and the hundreds of werewolves in Tiffany's pack and my pack. Damien said he'll kill my mate because he knows that I'm vulnerable without her, and I will become an easy target. With the wizard backing him, it was possible. I'm fucking worried not in my life, but Anya's life. I can't call help from the Pack Alliance because we are being watched, and my pack was small compared to his rouges, army of rouges that he created to destroy me and my sisters. I don't have a choice. I know that I'm strong, but I'm worried about my pack that they might not be able to handle it. I don't want them to suffer. So I made a deal with him. I'll let him do whatever he wants with me, but he'll spare my mate's life, my pack, and Tiffany's pack. He ordered me to make my beloved mate hate me. Even if it hurts, I have to follow him. I have to break Anya so that I can save her life. Let's go, Marcus, Tiffany said. I know what she was going through. She also had a mate, a family, and a pack to protect. The difference was that our Cand knows about this, but like me, he doesn't have a choice. We entered the office without talking to each other. I'm so sorry, Marcus. I'm to blame for all this, Tiffany cried. She's a bitch and feisty sometimes, but once you know her, you'll like her. She's kind. I learned something was wrong when she went to my pack, but I ignored it because she wasn't the type of woman who would do that. I went to her place and shushed her. None of us likes what's happening. It's just fuck up that I can't do anything about it. She's here. I told her, sensing my mate. I sat down in my chair and took off my clothes. Tiffany did the same and took off her top. I started kissing her when I heard the door creaked. Marcus, I heard her said. I stopped kissing Tiffany. Get dressed, I ordered her. She nodded and kissed me again. Why? She said as she cries. Fuck. I want to hold her, stop her from crying, hug her and say everything's gonna be all right, but I can't. I held back tears as I answered her. I got bored, I coldly said. She whimpers. No, baby, stop crying, please. I'm sorry I lied, baby. I love you, baby. You are the best thing that happens to me. I fucking want to say those words to her. But you said that you love me? She asked me weakly. Yes, baby, I fucking love you so fucking much. It's all just an act. The act of fooling you, and you fell in my trap, I said as I swallowed the lump on my throat. Please don't believe what I say, baby. I'm lying. I'm not pretending to love you. But I love you. I even gave you everything, Marcus, she yelled while clasping her chest. Why did you do this to me? Am I not good enough, Marcus? She added. I did not move. I just let her punch me. I did this to protect you, baby. Please don't hate me. I clenched my hands into a fist. I don't want your love or anything from you, Anya, I said. My wolf whimpers. He was hurt by what I said to our mate, but she had to leave this pack. I held her hand tightly. This will be the last time that I will touch your hand, baby. My heart clenched, shattered to pieces. I want everything from you, baby. I love you. I love everything about you. Your eyes, hair, and the way you talk, the way you smile, the way you pout your lips when you want something, the reaction I see from your face when you are mad at me. This is for you, Anya. Please understand. And with that, she ran away from the pack, away from me. When he disappeared from my sight, I knelt. Tears slowly streamed down my eyes while I was holding my chest. I'm in so much pain that I want to die. I can't live without her. Lorraine entered my office and slapped me very hard. What did you do to her? Why did you hurt her? Why? Lorraine asked while crying. You are worthless. You do not deserve her, she shouted at my face. I glared at her. You know nothing, Lorraine. You know nothing, I shouted angrily. Arnold stopped his mate and carried her out of my office, but he apologized to me before that. Marcus, Tiffany called. She was crying as well. Leave me, Tiffany. I want to be alone, I said to her. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you for your help, she said and left. Fuck this life. Chase her, Marcus. She hasn't gone that far yet, my wolf cried in agony. Fuck Damien. Fuck the deal. I will chase her. I went out of the pack house and ran to the forest, trying to catch her scent. And where do you think you are going? Damien asked, who suddenly appeared in front of me. Before I could punch him in the face, everything went black. Marcus's point of view. Why, Marcus? Why did you do that? Anya said disgust was written all over her face. I whimpered. I tried to approach her, but she's already gone. I got up and tried catching my breath. I looked at the room where I was, and all my memories came back. The deal, the act, and Anya. Fuck! Fuck you, Damien, I cursed. The door opened, and Lorraine entered, carrying a tray of food. You're awake, Alpha, she said softly. I looked at her, but I immediately averted my gaze. I'm ashamed of myself. Because of my stupidity, I lost Anya. How many hours have I been unconscious? I asked her while looking outside. I feel empty inside. I look like what they call a zombie, alive but seemingly lifeless. You're unconscious for a day, Alpha, she said and bowed her head. I'm sorry, Alpha. I didn't know you did all that for Luna, Lorraine sadly said. I don't know if she's talking about the deal because, as far as I remember, I haven't said anything to them, not even to my beta. I nodded my head at her. Lorraine excused herself and left the room. One day, I was out for a day. I want to thrash around the things in the room. If it wasn't for Damien, I was able to reach Anya. Nothing will happen to us if we continue to mop in this room, Marcus, my wolf said. He was right. We had to make way. I left the room and went to my office. Ah! No, Don't attack us. Let us go. Have mercy, I heard shouting outside. I hurried to the door. I saw Arnold in a hurry. Alpha, he said and bowed. He opened the door, and when we went out, I couldn't believe what I witnessed. What the fuck happened here? I angrily asked. Arnold immediately transformed into his wolf, grabbed the rouge that kept following the woman, and twisted his neck. I helped the woman to stand up. Alpha, please help us, she begged while crying her eyes out. What happened? I asked calmly but thoughtfully. Damien, he ordered his subordinates to burn the H households in E East Wood, Alpha, she said. I looked at Arnold. What the hell were our warriors doing? Have mercy. They will kill us, she cried. I gritted my teeth and clenched my fist. I looked at the woman and the child she was carrying. Come inside the pack house, I ordered. I glanced at Arnold and nodded. He was helping the woman and the child. Call all the warriors from our pack. We will kill all the rouges in East Wood. I mind-linked my beta. I won't let him do this. How dare he turned his back on the deal we had. Damien, you fucking mutt. I will make sure you will die in my hands. Anya's point of view, 3 days after the attack in Dark Hound. Let me do it, Miss Anya, Lilac said and took the ladle away from me. Lilac, it's really okay with me, I said and chuckled. If you insist, then I will prepare the pates instead, I added and smiled. I don't want Alpha Allen to scold me, miss, she said and laughed. You're a guest here, and he will visit you later, she added. I patted her shoulder and made her sit on the chair while I cooked the remaining dish. Don't worry, I'll take care of Alpha Allen, I told her and winked. She hesitantly followed me. She sat down while looking at me. After the dish was cooked, Lilac helped me with the preparation. Wow, it smells delicious, Brent shouted when he entered the kitchen. He hurriedly sat while Alpha Allen shook his head and followed behind him. Eat slowly, Brent. You might get choke, I told him while laughing. Wow, this is superb. You're outstanding, Miss Anya, Brent praised while still eating. I shook my head and grabbed a plate. Are you tired, Anya? Alpha Allen asked. No, Alpha. I wanted to help Lilac here in the kitchen because doing nothing and sitting around makes me sick, I told him. You can help pack daycare if you want, he told me. I smiled. Really? I would love to, I said and stroked my stomach. It's just days, but I'm used to caressing it now. Come with us, and you too, Lilac, Alpha Allen said. I started to eat while looking at Brent and Lilac quarreling like cats and dogs. During my few days staying here at Crescere Lupus Pack, a word which means crescent wolf, Alpha Allen shared their history with me. All of their members have a crescent tattoo on their bodies. I saw that in Brent and Lilac and the other wolves I met when I went out with them. I also found out that Alpha Allen hasn't met his mate yet. I'm sure Alpha Allen's mate was lucky because I know he will love her. I smiled bitterly. I remember him again. Anya, are you okay? Alpha Allen asked. Of course, I replied to him. Why do you look like you're in pain? He asked. I just remembered something unpleasant, Alpha, I said. When can I go to pack daycare? I asked him to avoid the topic. Whenever you want, Anya, he answered while smiling. I need to distract myself. I don't want to think about him anymore. I need to be okay. Anya's point of view. Lilac, please. Come with me, I begged Lilac. I wanted to go to pack daycare, but I have no one to accompany me. Alan suddenly has to do his pack works along with Brent. Miss Anya, I still have work to do, she said to me. I sighed. Lilac really is a workaholic. Please, Lilac? Just this one, I said to her and batted my eyelashes. I don't want to be here all day. My baby needs to go out in the sunlight too. Please, I told her and pouted my lips. She let out a sigh and smiled at me. All right, miss, she said. Yay, come on, I said as I pulled her out of the pack house. We went straight to pack daycare, where orphans and other children study and play. Hi, Linda. I warmly greeted the assigned daycare teacher. She smiled at me and hugged me. You finally went, she said to me. I smiled at her and offered a peace sign. This was the only time I got Alan's permission, I told her and chuckled. She nodded her head and opened the door. Kids, we have a guest that wants to be with you today, Lena cheerily said. They are Miss Anya and Miss Lilac. Be kind to them, okay? Linda added happily to the children. The children were delighted and immediately ran towards Lilac and me. Hi, a little girl greeted me. I knelt so I can match her height and smiled. Hello, what's your name? I asked her. There's something I saw in her eyes. It was full of sadness and grief. She adjusted her eyeglasses and spoke. "Be Betty," she shyly said. I tilted my head and ignored what I saw. Betty is a cute little girl with dimples and had this urge to pinch her fluffy cheeks restrained me. "Do you want us to play?" I asked her. Her eyes were shining and she nodded. I laughed at her extreme cuteness. I stood up and took her little hand, went to the box where the toys were. "You want to play dolls?" I asked as I picked up the dolls. She nodded at me and sat. I sat next to her and gave her the beauty. Betty started to play with it while I imitated her. I found out from Linda that Betty's parents are dead. They died when rogues attacked the pack. I looked at Betty. Happily, I could see that she was trying her best to strengthen her heart, even though she was sad. I hope I can be as strong as she is. Marcus' point of view. "Are you ready?" I asked them. "Yes, Alpha," they said at once. "Let's move." I shouted at them. They changed into their werewolf form and charged towards Damien's hideout. How dare he attack my pack? After eliminating the Rouges on the East Wood, we proceeded to plan and attack his hideout. "I'll tear you apart, Damien, and when I'm done with you, I will find my mate, my Anya." We arrived in their place, and the fight broke out. My pack warriors were busy fighting the Rouges. I lunged at the brown wolf and bit his head off. The gray one attacks me, but I dodge it and bit him. He howled in pain, but I did not stop him, and I attacked him again, aimed at his neck, and fell to the ground, lifeless. "Don't mess with the Alpha, you fucking sons of bitches," I menacingly said. The two Rouges attacked simultaneously, but then we stopped when we suddenly heard a gunshot. My beta howled. "What the fuck happened?" I asked through the link. "Alpha, one of the pack warriors got shot, and he's dying!" My beta hysterically said. "What? Why?" I asked. "It's a silver bullet, Alpha. Damien hired bunch fucking hunters," he said. "Fuck. So aside from Wizard, we also have to deal with goddamn hunters." We managed to take down 5 hunters, but I don't know how many of their companions are left, my beta angrily said. Ever since the moon goddess created us, hunters had hunted and killed our kind because they believed that we were the beast sent by hell to exterminate all humankind. Hunters were human. It was written in our history. The war between hunters and werewolves that many died. Eventually, we won the battle. To prevent another war, we stayed away from them. We've isolated ourselves in the forest. Alpha, we need orders. Many of us will be injured due to the interference of hunters, my beta said. I glared at the 2 Rouges in front of me as they began to circle like I'm their prey. Retreat. Treat all the wounded warriors. I will stay here. Go. I ordered. Arnold was hesitant to leave me, but he had no choice. I form a defensive formation when the rogue attacks me. I fought back while the other one was waiting for his chance to finish me off. I must kill the hunters. No one must live. I tackled the Rouge and bit his neck until he died. I was panting heavily and glared at the other one. He whimpered and scurried away. I saw my pack warriors slowly retreating and began searching for the smell of the hunters. When I caught a whiff of their scent, I ran in their direction. Fuck this. I didn't think there were many of them, I heard the male hunter say. They were only 2 of them. The others must have already retreated too. Why did the headmaster think of following that dog? The woman hunter angrily spat. I went out and viciously growled at them. They were surprised to see me, but it was immediately replaced by anger. You must be the Alpha. It's not nice to meet you, he sarcastically said. I snarled at him. He pulled out his knife, which I suspected that made from silver. I slowly walked towards them. They were both injured, but I was taught not to underestimate the enemies because they could still kill me. They couldn't react when I lunged myself at the man and bit his shoulder. He cried in pain. I jumped back, but the girl attacked me and successfully slashed the part of my stomach and back. I hissed in pain. The fucking silver will leave a scar on the skin unless it gets treated right away. It burns the werewolf's body, and it also takes a long time to heal. I growled and attacked her, biting her in the stomach. She shouted and shouted, but I did not let her go. I put more pressure on her until she lost her life. You monster, the man said and glanced at his friend. He rushes forward and swings his knife, but I avoided and bit him on the leg. He groaned and stabbed me with his silver knife. I whimpered and let go of him. Don't come near me, He shouted at me. I slowly walked towards him. When he swung his knife once more, I got the chance to see an opening. I jumped up and bit him on the neck, causing his blood to spurt. "Die, Hunter," I whispered. I transformed back to my human form. I grabbed the handle of the knife that was plunged into me, and with a deep breath, I pulled it out. "Fuck!" I shouted after successfully pulling it out. I got on my knees. My vision started to get blurry. I'm not too fond of silver. I slowly stood up. Arnold. Clean. A shot rang through the entire forest. Useless hunters, right, Zakir? It was the last thing I heard before everything went black. Marcus's point of view. I slowly opened my eyes and looked everywhere. Where the heck am I? I feel my arms numbed. When I examined it, I found that it was from the wound. The fucking silver. Damn it, that bastard! He stabbed me for the second time, I angrily said. I remember what happened before I fainted, and I know that voice. I'm sure it was Damien. I tried to move my hands, but it was chained to the wall, and I was in prison. I tried to contact Arnold through the pack link, but I couldn't reach him. What the hell is happening out there? Damien, you bastard! Release me this instant! I shouted angrily, shaking the chains in my hand. I tried to break it, but I couldn't do anything. My wrists hurt even more. Fuck you, Damien. When I get out of here, I will kill you, I angrily yelled. You can't do anything there. That chain is mixed with silver, so you can't break it, the voice said in prison in front of me. So that's why my wound hasn't healed yet. Who are you? I asked her. I am Mary May Salvador. I was one of them. Who are you? She asked. I examined her and saw the bruise on her face. She also has wounds on her arm and legs. It was fresh because she was still bleeding. I'm Marcus Kingsley. You said was. Why? What did you do that made Damien imprisoned you here? I asked her. She looked at me for a moment and bowed. I killed 3 of his men. I want to leave his army, but he won't allow me, she said. I can't take it anymore. When I see him killing an innocent person, I loathed him. I don't want this kind of life. I can't get rid of him because of my brother, but now that he is gone, I want to leave here. I want to live quietly with my future mate, she said, then cried. She covered her hands over her face and cried softly. I felt sympathy towards her. Are they the ones who did that to you? I asked her. She nodded and continued to cry. I clenched my fist. I will help you. I will help you escape here, Mary, I told her seriously. She looked at me and shook his head. We can no longer get out of here. We will die here. Not when Zakir was beside him, she said weakly to me. Trust me. I will help you to escape, but promise me one thing, I told her. What is it? She asked me. Find my mate and tell her this, I said, and began to tell her everything. From my deal with Damien to the acting that Tiffany and I did until I was imprisoned here. Tell her that I love her so much, and even if I die here, she will still be the one I love. She nodded at me. I sighed. I heard the door creaked open. This is it. Get ready. I will surely help you, I said to him and smiled. The 2 men entered inside with bottles in their hands. They were laughing at us while drinking. Are they drinking beer? Drinking human alcohol has no effect on our werewolves, but one drink can affect us, and that is a drop. Boss won't be angry if we play with his new captive, right? The man asked his colleague. I don't know. Maybe not, his colleague answered and chuckled. He stood up and took something. He walked towards my cell and smiled. Hey, what are you going to do? His companion asked. He just smiled and opened a door. I looked at his pants and saw the key was hanging on them. How can I get that from you? Fucking shit, I yelled as he swung his chain in my back. It's silver. I glared at him. Damn him. He was not shaken because he lifted the chain he was holding again. I groaned and grabbed my stomach. I vomited a little blood because the chain hit my body. That's enough. The boss might scold us. His colleague stopped him. He will not. I'll take care of boss, he said with a smile. He lifted his chain again. I touched my face as I felt something flowing out of it. Blood. I looked at him, but my vision is getting blurry. That's enough. He can't do it anymore. Have mercy on him, Mary cried. Shut up, the man shouted at her. Her eyes glazed over. I need to think. I was dizzy. I had to get the key from him to give it to Mary May. I looked around the jail and saw nothing that could be used as a weapon. I looked at my foot. It was also chained, and it was connected to my other foot. I smiled. Fucking bastard still smiling. Hey, this one's tough, he said while pulling my hair. He let go of it and walked away a little. This is it. I jumped up and hooked the chain around his neck. He dropped the chain in his hand while I tightened my grip on him, while I headbutted his colleague. "Release me, fucker!" he said while struggling to breathe. I did not listen to him. I twisted his head and took the key on his pants. I threw it in Mary's cage. She immediately took it and unlocked the chain. She had already opened the prison door, but suddenly the man's companion woke up. He saw Mary just as she was about to go, but I immediately stopped him. "Run, Mary! Get out of here!" I shouted. Confused, Mary followed me. "Let go of me," the man shouted and punched me. I tightened my grip on him even more. "Go, Mary, find her. Find Anya." I let go of him because of a blow that hit my stomach and vomited blood again. "Where's Mary, Brill?" shouts the man that came rushing into my cell. There are still rouges waiting outside. "Look, she escaped. It's the fault of this idiot. He killed Lander," he said and kicked me. "That's enough. Let's chase Mary, and boss won't like it when he finds out that woman escaped," he said. They came out of my cell and shifted as werewolves. "Be safe, Mary. Be safe," I said as I closed my eyes. Mary May's POV. I kept on running and running. I can't disappoint Marcus because he set me free. Because of him, I was able to get out of that hell. I ran fast as I could. It was as if my foot was about to give up because of the wounds I received from the torture they inflicted, but I would not. I need to get away. "There she is," Damien's rogues shouted. I cursed. When I looked ahead, I saw a river, and what I did was to quickly jump. "Fuck, where is she?" said the man angrily. I knew this voice. Patrick, Zakir, and Damien's lackey. "Pat, she is not here, and I'm sure she won't be able to survive either because the water flow here is powerful. She probably drowned and died," Brill said. "Fuck. Let's go back. We need to punish that fucking alpha," Patrick said and left. I immediately got out of the water. I quickly transformed into my wolf and ran again. It was fortunate that there was a big hole in the river and I could fit inside and hide. I've been running for ages, but I don't see any signs of life. Where am I? My stomach was growling because of hunger. "You can do it, Mary. Do not give up," I whispered. I heard the rush of leaves. I looked around. My vision was getting blurry. I can no longer bear the dizziness. I shifted back to my human form, and before I fell on the ground, someone supported me. "Mine," he growled, then everything went black. Anya's point of view. I went out of my room, and I immediately saw that they were panicking downstairs. Brent was holding Alpha Allen as he struggled to enter the vacant space. I went downstairs and stood next to Lilac. "Lilac, what happened?" I asked her. She looked at me and smiled sadly. "Alpha Allen found his mate, but she's in critical condition right now," she said softly. "Oh God." I immediately looked at Alpha Allen. The pain was evident in his eyes. He was still trying to get rid of Brent. "Fuck! Release me this instant, Brent," he growled, but Brent did not listen to him. "You need to calm down, Alpha," Brent said firmly. "Calm down. Damn it, Brent. How can I do that when my mate's life is in danger?" he shouted angrily. We all fell in complete silence. Neither of us wanted to speak. I averted my gaze from Alpha Allen. I can't stand seeing him in that state. He looked so vulnerable, broken. I suddenly thought of Marcus. What if he was the one in the room right now? I may not be able to withstand it. Even though he doesn't love me, I still love him dearly. "Lilac, I'm leaving first," I said to Lilac and walked out of the house. Alan's point of view, hours before meeting his mate. "Brent," I called my beta through the pack link. He knocked on my office door first before entering inside. "Yes, Alpha?" he asked. "When was our schedule to visit the Crimson Pack?" I asked him while scribbling my signatures on the essential documents. "That would be in next week, Alpha," he replied to me. I turned the swivel chair and looked at the sky through the window. 5 years, but I'm still searching for her. Since our 18th birthday, we tried searching for our mate, but we weren't lucky. "Okay, thank you, Brent. You can leave now," I said to my beta and smiled. He bowed his head and left the office. I was suddenly overwhelmed by my senses. My wolf was edgy today. "What happened to you?" I asked him. "I can feel her. I can feel our mate. She's here," he answered me. I groaned. "She's not here, bud. Maybe it's just your illusion," I told him. "I want to run, Alan," he said to me. I let out a sigh. "Fine," I replied and got up from my chair. I closed the documents and left the office. I saw Brent in the living room, currently eating his snack. Going to run, Alpha? He asked. I nodded my head and grabbed the shirt hanging on the couch's headrest. Want me to escort you? He asked me once again. I looked at him and mouthed, seriously. He smiled and raised his hand. I glared at him before leaving the pack house. I transformed into my wolf form. My wolf's color is brown, and it's bigger in size. Most of the alpha's wolves were more prominent than an ordinary werewolf. I run at full speed into the forest. When I sat down near the cave while I thought of my mate, what does she look like? I know she is beautiful, no doubt about that. What was her favorite food? Favorite color? I sighed. I badly want to see her, hug her, and kiss her. I want to hold her in my arms. I hope to see her. I suddenly heard the twigs snap. Is there another werewolf here beside me? Yeah. Right, rogues. I got up and sauntered. I glanced around the area, then it hit me. The most amazing scent I've ever smelt. The mixtures of strawberry and chocolates, it's my mate's scent. She's here! Bud, she's here, I said happily to my werewolf. My intuition was right, he said and scoffed, but I know he's grinning from ear to ear. Wait, what was that? I asked him. Blood, we both said at the same time. I quickly ran to where the smell was coming from. I felt her stop moving, so I went out of my hiding place. Before my mate fell to the ground, I immediately supported her body. Mine, I growled, but she already closed her beautiful eyes. I scanned her body and saw numerous scars and fresh cuts. I panicked. Anger rose in my body. Who's the fucking bastard that did this to her? I gently caressed her face with the palm of my hand and clenched my fist. That person will pay for what he did to you. I got dressed and immediately ran back to the pack house, carrying her in my arms. I can't bring her when I'm in my wolf form because I can't put her on my back. When we arrived at the pack house, I immediately kicked the door open. Call the pack doctors! Faster! I commanded them. They scurried in their feet and hurriedly called the doctor. I opened the door of the vacant room I have and gently laid my mate down. Where's the pack doctors? I shouted. I felt her pulse. It was weak, and it seemed to disappear. Hey, come on, baby. You can do it. Please, fight for me, I said softly as I held her hand tightly. I felt something came out of my eyes, and I didn't realize I was already crying. I wiped my tears. I can't lose her. The pack doctors rushed to the clinic. They put something on her. I saw one of the doctors hold my mate's hand. She's mine, I growled and grabbed his collar. He was afraid while looking at me. Alpha, Alan, you need to calm down. We can't do our job if you are like that. I suggest you need to leave this room, Derek, the pack doctor, said. I glared at him. I was about to punch him when the monitor suddenly rang. Straight line. My heart sank. Our slightest bond seemed to disappear. Brent pulled me out of the room. I dumbfoundedly looked at the door. Scars, blood, my mate, our bond, straight line. I tried to get rid of Brent's grip. Fuck, release me, Brent. I growled at him. You need to calm down, Alpha, Brett said firmly. I looked at him. Calm down. Damn it, Brent. How can I do that when my mate's life is in danger? I shouted. Brent went silent as well as the other werewolves in the pack house. I knelt on the cold floor. Moon Goddess, please save her. I beg of you. I will do anything. Please save her. Save my mate's life. Alan's point of view. 3 days. 3 fucking unbearable days, but my mate still hasn't woken up. I can't eat well nor sleep because of her condition. I badly want to hold her in my arms. When I really find out who did this to her, I will make sure he suffers. I snapped out of my thoughts when I heard a thud. I glanced at where my mate was and saw that she's already awake. I hurried over to her to help her stand up, but she swats my hands away. Don't hurt me, please, she said while trembling. Fear was visible in her beautiful eyes. I averted her gaze. I don't want to see her being afraid of me. It pains me seeing her like this, thinking that I will hurt her. My wolf whimpered. She's our destiny, our other half. I won't hurt her. I smiled at her. I will not hurt you. I'm here to help you, I calmly said to her and slowly held out my hand. She looked at it and back to me. She did it several times before she decided to take my hand. She flinched. I know she felt our bond, and she knows I'm her mate. I immediately hugged her tightly. I waited a long time to see you and be with you. I will not let you get hurt, my little mate, I said. She silently cried in my chest. They will kill me. He will kill me, she cried with a trace of fear in her voice. What did the bastard do that traumatized my mate? I clenched my hand into a fist. Who did this to you, darling? Tell me. I swear he won't lay his hands to you again. I calmly said to her while my heart feels like it was being gripped tightly. I'm in a rage. I want to kill all of them. He will hunt me. He won't let it slide, she shouted. Let me go. I need to find help, she added while trying to get away from me. I hugged her and rubbed her back. She keeps punching my chest, and I let her be. Calm down, darling, I softly said. She was crying and trying to get out of my arms. I need the pack doctor, right now, I shouted through the mind link. Soon a few doctors came, something injected them into my mate, and she lost consciousness. I carried her and laid her on the bed. I believe she's experiencing extreme stress, Alpha. I need you to be by her side and gently explain it to her until she sees that you won't hurt. She's also in a new environment, and based on the wounds in her body, she's been tortured nonstop, the doctor explained to me. Damn it, I weakly said and sat down on the chair beside her bed. Please leave me alone. Thank you, and I'm sorry for what I did the last time, I added. They smiled at me and nodded, quietly left the room. I leaned close to my mate and kissed her on the forehead. Damien and Zakir will kill me. Help me, my mate whispered in her sleep. I looked at her, but she never spoke again. She's having a nightmare. Damien and Zakir? I will find them. Don't worry, I will search every nook and cranny. I will protect you, my little mate, I whispered to her. Marcus P.O.V. You're a tough one, huh? Damien said while pulling my hair. Zakir stood beside him with his usual smug face. I cough. They keep on torturing me until I tell them where I sent Mary May, but I will not do that. Won't you really tell us where you are sending Mary? Damien asked, annoyed. Instead of answering, I smiled at him. Bastard. Whatever you do, I will not tell you what we talked about. Those useless hunters failed their job, he'd said. It's an easy order. Kill Marcus, but they can't even do it properly, he added. Zakir, what should we do with this guy? He asked. Zakir looked at him. Do what you want, he replied. Damien grinned. As you wish, Damien said. You know, Marcus, Zakir saved me, giving me life with his power, and he wanted nothing but destruction, he added. Fuck you, I cursed. You've hired those hunters. It's against the werewolves' law, Damien, I told him weakly. So what? Against the law? I am Rouge Marcus, and I have no law to follow, he told me. Besides, I have a powerful wizard next to me, he added. He took the chain and slapped it on me. Hey, Marcus, if you hadn't annoyed me now, I won't hurt you, he said. He called two of his subordinates and ordered them to torture me once more. They put a big water drum in my cell. They helped me stand up and grab my head, dipping inside the water drum. They'd do it from time to time. After that, they kicked me nonstop. My body felt numb. I feel nothing. Is this my karma? For hurting my mate? For making her feel unwanted for everything I've done? Well then, I think I deserved this. Alan's point of view. Did you find something? I asked my beta. I received a shaking of the head as a response. Fuck. We only have one clue, and that's the name of the scumbags who hurt my mate. We don't know where they were or what pack they belonged to, but seeing my mate, I doubt that she's in a pack. You can leave, Brent. Thanks, I told him. I ruffled my hair and let out a sigh. I badly want to rip their heads. I got up and went into the room connected to my office, where I transferred my mate. I approached her and saw she was sound asleep. I caressed her face. I don't even know your name, my little mate. It hurts to see you like this, I said. I took a pillow from the cabinet and lay down on the couch. I usually sleep when I go here because I do not want her to be surprised when she finds out I'm lying next to her. I stared at the ceiling, then slowly closed my eyes. Ah! I woke up when I heard her scream. It always happened when she's fast asleep. She's having a nightmare. Even though my back hurt because of the fall I sustained, I immediately attended to her side. Lilac, Brent, to my mate's room. Now! I commanded them through the link while trying to hold my mate down. Don't kill me. Please stop. It hurts, she said while crying her heart out. I hugged her tightly. I'm here, sweetie. No one will hurt you anymore, I whispered to her. Alpha, what happened? Brent asked. I looked at them and saw Anya behind Lilac. I immediately turned my gaze back to my mate, who was still sobbing loudly. She had a nightmare. She probably dreamed of the pain that he got from being tortured, I said. I couldn't help but clenched my hand. What can we do to help, Alpha? Lilac asked. I want you to bring water and food, Lilac. Thank you, I told her. Suddenly, my mate pulled my shirt. Save him. Please save him. My beautiful mate, while she kept tugging. He helped me get away. Save Marcus Kingsley, she said before fainting in my arms. What did she say? Anya asked slowly and approached us. She said to save Marcus Kingsley. I repeated what my mate said earlier. She grabbed the table with Brent supporting her. She suddenly looked pale. Anya, are you okay? I asked her worriedly. The name she said earlier, Anya said and looked at me. I know who he is. Marcus Kingsley is my mate, she said and let out a sob. I was a bit taken aback, but I never pried nor asked her questions when I found her in the forest. Don't cry, Anya, Brent told her. Alpha Allen, please save my mate, she said and grabbed my hands. I'm begging you. Save him, she added and knelt on the ground. I immediately helped her get up. You don't have to do that, Anya. I will save your mate because of him. My mate escaped from those who hurt her, I said. I will do everything I can. I have a plan in mind, and I'm going to need your help, Anya. I was hoping you could help me because you know where Marcus is. We will save him, and I will make Damien and Zakir pay for what they did. I told her while she nodded her head in response. I glanced at Brent, and he helps Anya out of the room with Lilac. I sent her off because she needs rest. Her condition requires her to do so. I will see the two of you soon, and when that happens, I will tear you apart, limb by limb. I kissed my mate's forehead and entered the office. Brent, can you go to my office? I asked through the mind link. Brent came in and sat in the chair opposite me. What is it, Alpha? He asked. I want you to gather the pack warriors, all of them. They will all come with us tomorrow. We will attack Damien's hideout, I told him seriously. Understood, Alpha, he said and bowed, then left my office. Brent's point of view. All pack warriors go to the training area. I have an announcement coming from the Alpha, I said through the mind link. I left the pack house and went immediately to the training area. I immediately saw our pack warriors and walked to the front. We will attack our opponent's hideout tomorrow, I told them frankly. I saw them whispering. You can leave the cowards here, I told them. They raised their hands for questions, and I chose the man in the blue shirt named Cairo. Can we know what our enemies had done to us? He asked. It is not the habit of our pack to attack for no reason, knowing Alan's character. Whenever possible, we talk to each other to resolve the issue. But now, this time, because there's no use in talking to a bunch of savage rogues. If they want to fight us, we'll make sure they'll regret it. Alpha found the Luna, and we believe that she's been through a lot of torture, I told them. They mess with our Luna, I yelled. They all looked at each other. Then we will join this battle. We will avenge our Luna, Anderson shouted. The other pack warriors are also yelling. For the Luna, I shouted and raised my right hand. For the Luna. You chose the wrong opponent, rogues. Anya's point of view. I kept pacing back and forth. I'm anxious. I can't wait to see him. No, scratch that. I needed to see him. I can't bear to lose him. I can't take to see him hurt. I still love him. What time are we leaving? I asked Brent again. He looked at me and he sighed. You asked me that, Miss Anya, for about 5 times. We will wait for Alpha's order, okay? We will definitely save him, Anya. Please calm down, he said to me. I sat down, and Lilacs handed me a glass of water, which I gladly took and drank. He's okay, isn't he? I asked my wolf. I don't know. We know Damien. He will kill our mate because he failed to kill Candace, my wolf worriedly said. What if he's dead? God, no. There's too many ifs swirling inside my head. He's not dead. I can feel it even though our mate bond is weaker. I want to cry, but I need to be strong. Marcus needs me. Let's go, Anya. We're leaving, Brent said. This is it. Wait for me, Marcus. I will save you. Alan's point of view. Warriors, I will divide you into 3 groups, I said. The first group will be my group, the second will be Brent's group, and the last group will be Andrew's group, I added and looked at them. Brent, you know where you will attack. Andrew secures the perimeter. The ones in my group, we will attack directly. Please wait for my orders. Got it? I asked them. Based on tracking my mate's prints and Anya's information, we were able to find them. Yes, Alpha, they answered at once. Be safe, I said before turning around and walking away. Anya, stay close to me. It's not dangerous for you to shift, right? I asked her. She looked at me and shook her head. No, it's not. I can still shift, she replied. When my stomach is big, it is not possible because it is dangerous for both of us, she explained to me. All right, we should shift, I told her. I mind-linked my pack warriors to shift, and that's what they did. Soon, my pack warriors in their wolf form surround me. I howled, and they accompanied me. Damien's current location. The cave, kilometers away from Marcus's pack. We were here after hours of running. I motioned for one of my wolves to come down to see how many rouges were guarding. More than 10 minutes have passed, but he still has not returned. Alpha, we have a problem. They heard we were going attack. Someone was sabotaging the plan, Brent said through the mind link. What? I shouted angrily. Fuck, who was the traitor that sold information about our plan? We need to fight back, attack them, I shouted. We ran down the hill, and there I saw the warrior I ordered, lifeless in front of many rouges. Fuck this. I angrily bite the black wolf in his neck, and I followed the brown wolf next to it. The other one snarled at me, and I growled back. I looked around. Where is Anya? Where the heck is she? For a moment I lost focus. The black wolf managed to bite my shoulder. I glared at him. He smirked. I gritted my teeth and rushed to bite his leg. He whimpered and backed away. I had a chance to attack him, so I bit him on the neck until he died. Did you see Anya? I asked through the pack link. Fuck! I couldn't find her because of this filthy rouge that keeps on attacking me. Shit! I angrily murmured. Please be safe, Anya. Anya's point of view. We're being attacked. Someone knew our plan and sold us. Oh God, I need to find him now. Anya, calm down. Let's not follow them. We will go to our mate, my wolf said. How? I asked back as the entrance was full of werewolves fighting. Find another entrance. This cave is big. I can sense that there's still one entrance aside from the front. It's just here around, she said to me. I turned around, avoiding any werewolves, and saw a little entrance that only my size could fit. I followed my wolf's word and entered. Find the switch, my wolf ordered while we were walking on the dark cave. That's what I did. I searched for the switch, and when I found it, I immediately pressed it. Oh God, I said and gasped. There are a lot of torture devices on the table. It seems that what we got in was some room. There were even fresh bloodstains. I sat down weakly. Anya, hide. Rouges are coming, my wolf said. I immediately got up and hid in a cabinet. I immediately covered my mouth. Hey, Rents, did you turn on the light here? The rogue asked. Huh, I don't know. Maybe I forgot. Just switch it off, Rents replied. Fucker, Ralph said. We need to go outside and help them, he added. I breathed a sigh of relief when I heard the footsteps were gone. I immediately went out of my hiding place. What are we going to do next? I asked my wolf. Find a rag or cloth enough to cover our body, she said. I looked for clothes in the bedroom, and I was lucky because I found one. I took it and put it on. The stench was pungent. Just put up with it, Anya. Just put up with it. We need to find Marcus. I went out and glanced around me. No guards, I whispered softly. As I sauntered, I saw empty cells, and the stench of flesh and blood was getting stronger. I looked away when I saw the cell that had a corpse in it. In the next cell, I found a man groaning in pain. His face was bloodied, but I can recognize him. Anya's point of view. Maiko? Oh God, what did they do to you? I asked him. He looked at me and smiled weakly. Luna, I'm happy to see you, he said and coughed. Miko, I'll take you out of here, I said and opened the cell. I'm glad I had the key I found from one of the rooms. Where's Marcus? I asked him while I helped him up. Luna, please leave me here, Maiko weakly said. Alpha was in the last cell in this place, he added. I nodded and helped her sat on the ground. I'll come back for you, Maiko, I said. Please be safe, El Luna, he said while clutching his stomach. I wiped away my tears and continued walking. Finally, I reached the cell where Miko pointed and was horrified when I saw what's inside. Marcus? I call him weakly. My heart clenched at the sight of him. He was chained to the wall, had many wounds on his body, and blood was all over him. His eyes were half closed like he wasn't breathing. Baby, wake up, I called softly. He moved and slowly raised his head. Anya? He asked weakly. I smiled at him and nodded. What are you doing here? He asked. You should not have come back. You'll be in danger, he added as he struggled to break the chain. I asked for help with the pack I was staying in. I will save you, Marcus. You still have a lot to explain to me, I told him while crying. I took the keys in my pocket and opened Marcus's cell. I also removed the chain from him. I helped him stand up and we walked out of the cell together. I'm sorry, he said softly. Save it, Marcus. We'll talk later, I told him. I went back to Miko in his cell, but I was late. Miko is already gone. He is dead, and his neck was snapped. I averted my eyes and cried. If only I had been so early, I would have saved him. Hush, baby. It's not your fault, Marcus said. I supported Marcus again, and we walked straight ahead to where the entrance was. And where are you going? Damien said while holding a spiked bat in his hand behind our back. Marcus and I stopped. Use the entrance where you entered, Anya, Marcus seriously said. Zakir is not here. I will take him on. Run, Anya. Go, Marcus said and gently pushed me. I shook my head. No, you will come with me. We will go out together. I will not leave you here, I cried. Go, Anya, please. He begged and he pressed his forehead to mine. He was crying. Marcus was crying. Oh, come on, Damien said. Go, Marcus shouted. I ran to the room where the little entrance was located. I won't let you escape, Damien shouted angrily. I turned my head to where they were and gasped. Marcus, I shouted. I saw Damien stabbed him. He tackled Damien on the ground and fights him aggressively. Their fight lasts for how many minutes, but they both laid on the floor, unmoving. I ran back to where he was and put his head on my lap. No, 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 baby. Please stay with me, I yelled while shaking his body. Marcus, don't close your eyes. Baby, please. We need you. I need the father of my child, I cried. Anya. No, I stopped him. Don't talk anymore. I will ask for help. They will come here. Please don't close your eyes, I said while sobbing loudly. I want you to know that I love you very much, he said while he struggled to breathe. Marcus? Hey, I told you stay awake, right? Don't joke around, I said while gently slapped his face, but he did not respond anymore. Condolences, Luna, Candace and Blake both said. I looked at them and smiled sadly. Our pack house was full. All the pack members went. They all sympathized and mourned for his death. We are grieving for our loss, and until now, I still blame myself for what happened. It's my fault that he is dead. I wiped the tears from my cheeks. Condolences, Anya, Alpha Allen said. He sat down next to me. Condolences, Anya, Brent said and sat down next to Allen. I smiled at them and mouthed, thank you. We've locked her up, Alpha Allen suddenly said next to me. I did not speak. After the fight that happened, Zakir was nowhere to be found. They last saw him providing aid to the rogues, but I heard he vanished when Damien died. The remaining rogues fled while the wounded pack members were taken back to Allen's home. Alpha Allen already reported the matter to high mages, and I heard Zakir was a wanted criminal. He had been long out of the coven and was wandering around when he saw Damien. The high mage said what he did to Damien was resurrect him from death. It was forbidden, and now they were looking for him everywhere. They believed he's been weakened because of what he did. We also found out the one who sold the information from one of the rogues. I can't believe what Alpha Allen told me. The next day, I witnessed firsthand from her that she was the traitor. With her gentle face, with the kindness she showed me, with everything she had done. I can't believe she's acting. She deceived us. Lilac deceived us. Anya's point of view. 5 days have passed since the fight between Alpha Allen and Damien, and Zakir's rouges took place. Alpha Allen sent me for the interrogation. Brent greeted me, obviously tired from everything that happened. We went to the underground, where Allen stayed with the traitor. Why is Lilac here? I asked Brent in astonishment. She was in the room with Alpha Allen. And why didn't she notice us peeking at her? I asked Brent again. Lilac is here because she is the one that the rogue said who sold them the information. She does not see us, but we see and we hear them, he answered my questions. Is it true, Lilac? Alpha Allen asked calmly. What, Alpha? Did I do something wrong? Lilac asked Alpha Allen weakly. Brent scoffed. She's definitely acting. Fuck, Brent angrily said. I turned my gaze back to Lilac and Alpha Allen. I saw Alpha Allen clenched his fist. Tell me the truth, Lilac. Are you the one who sold us? Alpha Allen yelled. Lilac bowed, and I did not expect what she did next. She laughed out loud. Brent was about to go inside, but I stopped him immediately. Wow, congrats. You found out, she said, then smirked. What the fuck? Why did you do that, Lilac? Alpha Allen angrily asked and slammed his fist on the metal table. Lilac's expression suddenly darkened, but the smile could not be removed from her lips. Correction, Alpha. My name is not Lilac. It's Lemony, she said. She looked like a different person to me now. Oh, do you want to know why I did that? I did it because of my sister, she said. Alpha Allen remained silent. Do you remember her? Do you remember Liliana? This pack ruined her life, she yelled. That's not enough reason to betray us, Alpha Allen shouted. Not enough. Fuck you. She's my only family, but my twin died because of your beta. Your fucking beta ruined her life, she yelled. She was panting. Brent ruined her, and you let her leave this pack. That's why the hunters killed her, she added and tried to attack Alpha Allen, but she can't do that because of the silver chain in her hands and feet. I looked at Brent. He looked hurt and shocked. Now our case had become connected because of this. I stopped her from leaving, but she told me she's going to be okay, Brent mumbled beside me. She wanted to start a new life. I didn't ruin her life. He added softly, while tears welled up in his eyes. Lilac or Lemony did that because of her love for her twin sister. Brent apologized to her nonstop for what he had done. I hope Lilac finds forgiveness in her heart. Luna, you should rest. We will take care of this, Arnold said to me. I nodded in response. I got up and walked towards Marcus and I's room. I grabbed the knob, gently pushed the door open, sat on our bed, and let out a sigh. Suddenly, the door creaked open. You're crying again, he said to me, and a frown etched on his gorgeous face. I shook my head and let out a chuckle. Something got into my eyes, I said. He sighed and sat next to me, hugging me tightly. It's not your fault, baby, he started. Maiko fought hard, and I salute him for that. He set out by himself to find where I am. He's very loyal to this pack, and he doesn't blame you for what happened to him. It's inevitable, he added. So please stop blaming yourself. That's not good for you and the baby, Marcus said. I nodded my head and leaned on him. He kissed my forehead, and we both laid down. That day, I thought Marcus would disappear from me. I was so scared. When help arrived, we immediately took Marcus to the packed clinic. The doctor said he has no pulse, and that made me cry hard. Arnold and Lorraine came then, comforted me. I remember making a scene because I wanted to get inside. I even slapped Marcus on the chest, telling him that he should wake up. I told him that, baby, and I could not bear without him, and even threatened him that I would not forgive him until he woke up. Then a miracle happened. The doctor said that Marcus's heartbeat had returned. They immediately operated on Marcus, and now he is in good condition. I love you so much, Anya. I'm sorry for all the things I've done, he said and kissed the back of my hand. I am such a jerk. Sorry for hurting you physically and emotionally. Sorry for making you feel unwanted. I'm sorry. I will do everything so you can forgive me, he added. I know I do not deserve you. I do not deserve you, Anya. You deserve someone better than me. I will accept if you leave me, but always remember that I love you so much, he sincerely said. I touched his face and planted a soft kiss on his lips. I kissed him passionately. I know we didn't get along very well in the beginning. I can't unlove him. He is the best thing that happened to me. He had flaws, I know that. He is not perfect, I also know that. I love him with all my heart. I forgive you, Marcus, and I love you too, so damn much, I told him. He smiled, a genuine one. I know we still have many problems, but I know we can get through that because we are with each other. Let's sleep. We will take Maiko to his final destination tomorrow, he said. Marcus hugged me tightly, and I did the same to him. I closed my eyes and smiled. I will no longer be his unwanted mate because this alpha already accepted me. 5 years later. Anya's point of view. Mommy, wake up! Aunt said it's your big day today, she said. Come on, Mommy, wake up! Venus added while jumping in our bed. I groaned. I lazily opened my eyes and looked at my daughter. Come here, Venus. Give Mommy a good morning kiss, I told her and opened my arms wide. She followed and crawled closer to me. Venus immediately kissed me on the cheek, and it made me smile. Mommy's wide awake now, baby. Go to Auntie first, okay? I said to her. Venus nodded and ran out of the room. I began to feel the nervousness, seeing that I was all alone in the room. This is it, my wedding day. Today I will give my I do to Marcus. Today I will finally become Mrs. I am Kingsley. Anya, take a bath. The artists were here to fix you, I heard Candace say from outside. I'm so glad they went and helped us. Okay, I replied. I went into the bathroom. I looked in the mirror and saw the mark given by Marcus on my neck. I touched it. That night was terrific. I can't find the right word to describe it. It was beyond perfect. I took a shower and left immediately. I took the robe that was lying on the bed and put it on. The artists went inside after I got dressed. Marcus and I agreed that when Venus turns 5 years old, then we will get married. You are so beautiful, ma'am, the artists said. I let out a laugh. Hours had passed and they were done with my makeup and hair. The artist helped me with the gown. Oh, you look even good, ma'am, she praised me. Thank you very much, I said and smiled. They left the room and I sat while staring at the mirror in front of me. I stroked the fabric of my gown. It is very soft and stunning. Are you ready, Anya? Candace said while peeking in the door. I nodded my head and breathed deeply. She helped me and we left the hotel. Marcus and I agreed on a beach wedding. Are you okay? Candace asked. No, I'm nervous, I replied, and we both laughed. Marcus's point of view. Finally, she's here. I can't stay in my place because I'm worried that she might not show up or she might change her mind about the wedding. It all disappeared when I saw her with my sister. I cursed internally, for she was fucking beautiful in white. The music began to play. The best man I chose was Alan. I am very grateful to him because she kept Anya in their pack when I drove her away. Joseph was also invited to my wedding with his mate, but our other friend couldn't make it. Arkand was also present with Tiffany and, of course, my sister and her family. She was walking to me gracefully. As the distance between the two of us diminished, I could not take my eyes off of her. It was nerve-wracking. She smiled at me, and I couldn't help but smile at her too. Candace gave Anya's hand to me and winked. I chuckled and took it. Moon Goddess, thank you. Thank you for giving me, Anya. I love you, Anya, I told her. I love you too, Marcus, she replied. We faced the elder together. Dear friends and family, we are gathered here today to witness and celebrate the union of Marcus Cepheus Kingsley and Anya Lynx Collins in marriage, the elder said and looked at us. I squeezed Anya's hand. Do you, Marcus Cepheus Kingsley, take Anya Lynx Collins to be your lawfully wedded wife, promising to love and cherish through joy and sorrow, sickness and health, and whatever challenges you may face, for as long as you both shall live? The elder asked. I looked at Anya first before answering. I do, elder, I replied. The priest looked at Anya. Do you, Anya Lynx Collins, take Marcus Cepheus Kingsley to be your lawfully wedded husband, promising to love and cherish through joy and sorrow, sickness and health, and whatever challenges you may face, for as long as you both shall live? The elder asked. Anya smiled at me. There were tears in her eyes that I immediately wiped away. I do, Father, she answered. I looked at her and smiled. I was practicing this vow weeks ago so I could tell her how I feel. Anya Lynx Collins, when I first met you, that was the best day that happened in my life. But then there was a problem, I started. My past was hunting me, so I hurt you. I've acted like a jerk, and the worst was I made you feel unwanted. I was afraid that you might disappear like my parents. They died when I was a kid, and my only sister was taken from me. I made a wall where I did not let anyone in, but then you came, and the wall I made was gradually collapsing. I'm sorry, Anya. I love you, and I will make you happy. I will make up for the past. You are my life now, Venus and you. This is my solemn vow to you, I ended. I immediately wiped the tears from my eyes as well as Anya's. She glanced around us and smiled, and then she looked at me. Marcus Cepheus Kingsley, when we met instantly, I fell in love with you, she said. I will never tire of loving you, knowing that you act harshly at me, she chuckled. I know you will change, and you will find me in your heart. I endured everything, and I did not fail because now you are here in front of me. I love you so much, Marcus, and Venus too, she added. I have forgiven you for a long time for what you did. I will never leave you. This is my solemn vow to you. Anya ended while crying. The people around were also crying because they know what we've been through. Even my sister was happily looking at us with tears in her eyes. And now, by the power vested in me by Moon Goddess, I hereby pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss your bride. I immediately lifted Anya's veil and brought my face close to hers. I love you, Anya. I love you too, Marcus, she said. Then I kissed her passionately. They all applauded. I pulled away from the kiss. Family and friends, I present to you, for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Kingsley, Elder. We thanked the elder and went to the guests. Mommy, Venus shouted. Anya took her and carried her in her arms. I looked at my wife and daughter. I have nothing more to ask for because I already have everything. I love Anya. I love you, Venus, I said to the two of them. We love you too, Daddy, Venus chirped. The end.